trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional grade cleaning products for all your home's needs. So you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
I know I need money for retirement, but what should I invest in? I also need money for the kids' college fund, and I'm not sure I have enough insurance. How do I balance all of this? I need a stockbroker, a financial planner, and an insurance agent? Ugh.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. Here at Compact, we provide a holistic approach to wealth management with a team of professionals ready to assist you with all of your investment and financial planning needs. We offer our clients a 3-stage process that includes customizing a portfolio to fit your specific investment needs, creating a financial plan designed to help you reach your goals, and estate planning ideas to help ensure that your hard-earned legacy is passed down the way you intended. Call me at 1-800-388-9700 and let's talk about how we can work together to enhance your overall life experience. 1-800-388-9700, 800-388-9700.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor. Funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
A sapiosexual is a person who's attracted to intelligence. Do you choose brains over beauty? Like mind over muscle? Prefer Shakespeare?
To be or not to be?
To a puppeteer?
Hey, which one's the dummy?
So if you are sapiosexual and your current conversation is about to get, shall we say, intellectually stimulating, reach for Shakespeare Vodka, a thoughtfully engineered spirit with pure, smooth flavor that tastes like poetry in a bottle. Shakespeare Vodka, the taste of intelligence.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K242 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. It is Monday as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale, where it's currently drizzly and about 56 degrees. My name is Randy White. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. You are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. Got so much to talk about today as we wind our way through the today's headlines. We talk about it. We've got some baseball talk. We've got a lot happening in the Valley. We've got on this day to Big Georgia sports history. You're not going to want to miss that because it has something to do with fashion. We are going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk, of course, a little Super Bowl action, maybe Cards coaching. We've got there was so much happening in the Valley this weekend, Keon. I mean, we had the Waste Management Phoenix Open. We had Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. There were people everywhere. They had people stuffed in all the nooks and crannies of our great city, and now it's somewhat back to normal. And boy, it's good to get our free waste back. But anyway,
I think Devin Booker agrees with you.
Oh yeah,
he was
I saw him tweet it out.
He's like, get everybody out of my city.
I mean, I love the Super Bowl is here. You know, I love that the Waste Management Phoenix Open it happens here. It's one of the preeminent stops on the PGA Tour. It is an ultimate experience if you're a fan. If you've never been out there to Scottsdale and you like that kind of party atmosphere, let me tell you something. From 5 a.m. until sometime after midnight, it is a party atmosphere out there at the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
Yeah, I went Saturday.
No kidding.
Yeah. It was pretty
And?
fun. Well, I don't remember much.
So, Keon, tell us about your
I mean-
Saturday.
I can't really tell you a whole lot. There's a lot of drinking that happened.
All right.
A lot of day drinking.
Yeah. Did Ron take you to the owner's tent? He took me into the owner's tent. I couldn't tell you anything about it though.
I was not taken to the owner's tent, but yeah, I found a way to hammer it up. So
oh boy. Oh boy. Today's special day, Fanatic listeners, special day today, and Radio Ron is going to join us in the second hour to talk about this special dates. It's an anniversary for the Fanatic. We'll talk about that in the second hour here on the Daily Blender. But I mean, listen, let's get underway. Of course, the topic at hand here. KC made a comeback in an impressive fashion to win their second Super Bowl in 4 seasons. And I thought for sure the Eagles had the number of the Chiefs in the first half. It was all Eagles, and then here and then when Patrick Mahomes went down and he was kind of limping around, I thought, uh oh. But it didn't happen. They went in at the halftime, made some great adjustments, and they came back out. And boy, they found something on to utilize against the Eagles. They scored at will, and it seemed very easy.
And it always does for them in the fourth quarter of these games. I mean, if you even remember back to the first Super Bowl for Mahomes and Andy Reid together, the double-digit deficit that they were in the fourth quarter of that game against the Niners, they just seem to figure it out. And I just think that part of it is, how brilliant Andy Reid is, obviously, and then Mahomes goes out there and executes the game plan incredibly well.
It was something to behold. I truly think this is one of the best Super Bowls we've seen in some time. Yeah, this was a great Super Bowl, and not just because it was here in the Valley. And I don't at me about the field. Okay, some of these guys need to get. I don't think these guys know how to play on a regular turf field anymore. I mean, they have so many of these stadiums that are that artificial carpet, that artificial grass. And the turf was it looked immaculate. It looked immaculate to me. I didn't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
And if these guys were slipping, usually when you have bad turf, you see a lot of gouges from where the guy, plants his foot and digs up a bunch of turf. I didn't see a lot of that. Some guys were slipping, but that you get on that paint, they have it all painted up. Hell, they had it, about a third of the field, the playing surface had paint on it. I mean, could they get the NFL logo any bigger?
I mean, I'm sure they could figure out a way if they tried, but yeah, it was pretty intrusive. Some of the stuff that they had going on the field,
but they came up. Boy, both teams came out swinging in the first half. I mean, how about the Eagles? They looked ready to go. They came out and scored right away, as was the case this entire season. And then Kansas City got things kind of righted, and they started. It was like a heavyweight battle. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Keon?
No, I think that's the perfect analogy for it. A heavyweight fight. I mean, the Eagles go down to start the game. They score a touchdown, which is, something they've done every game of the postseason. They've scored on their first opening drive. And then the Chiefs come right back down and answer, and then it looks like maybe the Chiefs might turn the table, but then the Eagles get the defensive stand, the missed field goal. It just there was a lot of tension there. And if you loved offense, there was plenty to see. But if you love defense, there was plenty to watch in this game too.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that sometimes we don't get a good balance in these games. Some Super Bowls, it goes one way or the other. The fact that we had a really good balance, to me, made the game great.
Oh, yeah. I thought this was a very balanced game. I thought you had a little bit of everything. You had scoring, you had defense, you had special teams play, longest punt return in Super Bowl history. You had a doink. Butker had the doink off the crossbar or off the upright, one of the uprights. So there are a lot to talk about. I mean, you say what you will about Patrick Mahomes. This guy, I think, is quickly becoming, dare I say, the next Tom Brady.
I already agree with that. I was trying to tell this to Jeffrey before, but you before we can even talk about it, before we can even start to talk about it, you've got to have 6 or 7 rings. I don't necessarily agree. I think that part of it is if you just look at the pace that both guys were on. When Tom Brady was 27 years old, he won his 3rd Super Bowl. This is number 2 for Patrick Mahomes at 27. And I don't know, the machine doesn't really seem to show any signs of slowing down. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. The first half of this game I thought was incredible. Both teams looked great. It was good to see that both teams were, for the most part, were healthy. How about that offensive line for the Eagles, man? How many times, was it 3 or 4 times, the Eagles were in short yardage situations? You knew they were just going to do it. They came up there, they got in that heavy set, and they just brooded the ball ahead for a couple of yards. They did it on a touchdown. They did it on a couple of first downs. I mean, the Chiefs defensive line, the Chiefs defense had you couldn't stop them. The Eagles offensive line, it just brooded them, enforced their will on the Chiefs. Why they didn't do that? I don't mean the short, but why they didn't enact more of the running game. I mean, they kept trying to go. Instead of running, in between the tackles, they kept going outside. And I think the Chiefs were expecting that. It seems to me if you have an offensive line that can push you forward, and you should run in between the tackles. I don't know why they didn't exercise that.
Yeah, I think you would love to have seen it more because it didn't seem like the Chiefs had an answer for it. But I also know that they're sort of in that a zone blocking scheme, kind of. I mean, so there's just going to be you take what the defense gives you in some of those runs. So that's part of it. But yeah, I do think that a stronger push to just keep beating the Chiefs where their obvious weakness was probably should have been up there. But I also think, you got a little bit of interior defense from Frank Clark, trying to run away from him as much as possible. That doesn't hurt as an idea either, I guess.
Yeah, but it seemed like the Philly offensive line were able to enforce their will on the Chiefs defensive line. And I got to tell you, I would have exploited that. The way they kept just moving at will when it was short yardage situations, and when they did run the ball inside, they were able to move that defensive line out of the way and make running lanes. And I would have. I got to tell you, I think I would have worked that just a little bit more than they did. But listen, who am I? I'm a guy sitting in his chair at home watching the Super Bowl. I'm not some trained NFL professional. This is just my opinion, and we're just talking about it because that's what I do for a living. I talk about it. I didn't see the halftime show. Everybody's all buzz about Rihanna. Is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? Is that baby? Come on, man. I saw one of the pictures. She's pregnant. And I know she just had a baby, right?
See, I don't know all the stuff about it, but she is pregnant now. Yeah.
Well, I think she just had a baby just recently. And that's why everybody was like, oh, Rihanna. Is she pregnant? I mean, I've heard more about that and read more about that than it seems like everybody is fixated on if Rihanna is pregnant or not.
Yeah, it's the sort of ancillary stuff around the Super Bowl. It's just one of those things that will always tick me off where I don't necessarily enjoy that conversation just because I don't care. But I know that it did get a lot of people's imagination going.
So, okay, one drive there that resulted in you call it an octopus? Is that what you're calling it?
Yep.
Where Hurts ran the ball in for a touchdown and then ran the ball in again for the 2-point conversion. After that big catch by Devonta Smith, who, by the way, man, if he would have kept his feet in bounds, that was electrifying.
That was electrifying. And I think that he didn't expect the coverage to be that busted.
Yeah.
So it looked like he had already made up his mind. All right, I'm going to step out here and not risk, fumbling or anything like that. And I kind of wish he didn't, because he deserved to score the touchdown on that play. He completely just destroyed. I don't even remember who was covering him on that play. Just completely wrecked him.
Did you put any money down on that octopus?
I did not. It felt like a rare thing, so I didn't bet on that. I don't
know why I didn't do it. I was looking at it. And why didn't I think, Jalen Hurts is going to, I didn't know these guys were going to move the ball like that.
I didn't either. I figured, if things were going to go crazy, they would go crazy in the second half, which is true for Kansas City.
Yeah.
But for the entire game, the Eagles' offense was basically unstoppable.
Yeah, seemed like it. Well, too bad for the Philadelphia Eagles. But hey, listen, if you keep this team together, and you make some adjustments, I know they're going to get picked clean. Their offensive and defensive coordinators seem to be on the move, going to be head coaches. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But I mean, you keep this team together, and Nick Sirianni, he's a guy that wants it. He wants it, man. Who knows? I mean, Philadelphia may win. It's been a rough year for Philadelphia too, by the way. Phillies went to the World Series. You thought for sure, as hot as they were, but then they got run out of town by Houston. and now the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, and damn.
Yes. Yeah. So sad for Philadelphia.
Oh, that's right. You're not you're an anti-Philly guy, aren't you? You Washington Commando, you. All right, so 38-35. Want to hear from you on the text line at 888-368-1580. Tell me your thoughts on the Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to get into this for very long. There was exactly 2 ads plus the Raiders of the Lost Ark trailer. So there were 2 ads plus the Raiders of the Lost Ark trailer that I thought were good. One was the Corona, or I'm sorry, it was Corona beer, but it was, Miller Lite versus Coors Light for domination. And then they both get whacked, and Corona ends up at the surprise finish at the end. I thought that was very well done. Very well done commercial. And then there was the one with the Pepsi commercial, acting or not acting, where you had the great Steve Martin, who came out and played in one. You had and then you had Zoolander. Zoolander made an appearance, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness! So there were those 2 ads I really enjoyed, and then the Indy. Miss Kim was standing next to me. We were in the family room here when the commercials were on. We were talking about something, and she was asking me a question. I was like, "Shh, here it is." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "Look." And then she said, "You're kidding me." And I said, "Nope, there it is. There it is. Another Raiders movie. God, please make this a good one."
You sure hope so. Gonna pretend that Crystal Skull didn't occur or happen. And just give them another chance here. Make it work.
888-368-1580. Curious ASU fan gets the first word today. Hey guys, I'm missing my wallet. Can you please check the Philly fans before they leave? Yeah. Yeah, about that. Not going to be able to help you out there. Big George says, "Hello, gentlemen, and happy Monday. So now that football is over, can you believe we are only 2 days from Arizona Diamondbacks pitchers and catchers reporting on Wednesday? Also, Cactus League spring training starts next Friday. I can smell the grass and baseball from here." All right, Big George, they're not allowing cannabis into ballparks for you to smell. I'm sorry. So I don't know what grass you're smelling. You should know that by now. But yeah, so I'm very excited. I drove by the Dodgers and White Sox training facility. As a matter of fact, I drive by it quite frequently for the past several weeks. There's been activity on the fields out there. Just saying. Guys are already out there busting in the new gloves. and working out and, shaking off the cobwebs. So, yeah, I'm excited too, Big George. Random texter, the Chiefs are champs. Yeah, they are. Congratulations, random texter. Raven Kid, your son, says, congrats to my father, random texter, and his Chiefs. He also placed third overall in the Daily Blender Pick'em contest. Big weekend for him. Yeah, speaking of that, we're going to announce the winners with Radio Ron in the 4 o'clock hour. So we'll be talking about that in the 4 o'clock hour. You want to be sure and listen for that. It's Patrick says, most other teams in the NFL have won Super Bowls. The Cardinals will not be able to the next 10 years, and that's when a Super Bowl. What? Most other teams in the NFL have won Super Bowls. The Cardinals will not be able to next 10 years, and that's when a Super Bowl.
I mean, I don't know what the basis of that prediction is, but because I mean, this Eagles team, I mean, 10 years before they won that Super Bowl with Nick Foles, did anybody think that team was Super Bowl team? 10 years of prediction. Are you really going to do that?
See any of the U of A fans out there saying, aha, the only Super Bowl winning quarterback is still Nick Foles. Ha ha. Take it easy. Take it easy. Screaming Eagle has a question. Do you have any information if the Cardinals are now hiring the Philadelphia assistant coach? We'll talk about that a little later, Screaming Eagle. There's been some rumors, some speculation. Apparently, allegedly, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles visiting with the Cardinals about a possible head coach opening.
Yep, John Gannon.
CK says, good afternoon, fellows. Randy, beer me. Okay. And then he goes on to say, the slippery field in the silver toilet bowl, not a good look, even when field was NFL's fault. I had a pina colada at the Renaissance Fest. Oh, no.
Oh.
Really? Is this what we're doing now?
If you like pina coladas.
It's the first segment on a Monday.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, just give me a break here.
Said he had a pina colada at the Renaissance Festival.
Huzzah!
So I'm just there you go. All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, got more text talking about what we've already mentioned. Also, we've got some information about the Phoenix Suns. Keon's going to break down the latest college basketball post and a whole lot more. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
NBA tonight, the Portland Trailblazers are home to take on the Golden State Warriors. Portland, the 2.5-point favorite, -135. Golden State +115. The over-under 235. While the Utah Jazz will be home in Salt Lake City taking on Minnesota. Utah 5.5-point home favorite, -197. Minnesota +172. Over-under at 236. The Miami Heat are a 7-point home favorite over the Indiana Pacers. Indiana +220. Miami -260. The over-under 223.5. Toronto an 11-point home favorite against San Antonio. Raptors -550. Spurs +430. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk. I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill each morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill a day, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
It's the return of Big East basketball on the Fanatic as the Seton Hall Pirates travel to take on the UConn Huskies Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Listen to all the action live from premier games and conference showdowns, high-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball, all in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to Monday edition of the Daily Blender. There's still time for you to get your significant other something of value. Tomorrow, of course, the Hallmark holiday of Valentine's Day. I celebrated with Miss Kim Saturday night, so yeah, I'm good. You still have time though. I mean, Keon, do you have a special person that you're shopping for this year? Or is this one of those sad, lonely years?
I'm working on something. So I don't know.
All right.
We shall see.
My name is Randy White. That's Keon Rose. This is the Daily Blender. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. Let's go back to the text line. Heavy Metal Maniac says that was a great game. But why do the Eagles have a second half collapse? They looked pretty good in the first half, like they could not be stopped. Yeah, they did. We were talking about that. And why didn't they exploit the run between the tackles? In my opinion, I thought the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles was maybe a bit stout, more stronger than the defensive line of Kansas City. Why didn't they exploit that a bit more? Keon's glad they didn't because he's a Washington Commandos fan, and he has no, not even a like. He doesn't even have a good vibe about the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, I do not. And quite frankly, the entire city of Philadelphia, Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers. I hate all of them really. But it's just Eagles fans in general. I have a few Eagles fans as friends, and there's no humility there when the Eagles are doing well. So when they stumble a little bit, I enjoy it.
It's Patrick trying to clarify his last text. You may have recalled his last text was most other teams in the NFL have won Super Bowls. The Cardinals will not be able to next 10 years, and that's win a Super Bowl. So here's the clarification.
Okay.
Cardinals will not win Super Bowl, thankfully, next 10 years plus. Thanks, what I was trying to say. Well, you're welcome. Mr. Pringle says, didn't watch a second of Super Bowl programming. Can we just get on with the USFL season now? Oh, I'm glad Jeffrey's not here.
Yeah, I know. I think a vein would burst or something. I don't know.
Mr. Pringle, you're trying to tell me and Keon you did not watch a second of Super Bowl programming.
But that you will be watching the USFL.
Child, please.
Yeah.
Child, please.
Oh.
Pinocchio says, dang, that holding call at the end seems so ticky-tack. Hated to see that be such a deciding factor in the game. Yes, KC would have kicked the field goal to go ahead, but Philly would have got the ball back with enough time to try and do something. Yes, true. It's true. But I will say this. It was a legitimate call. Now, I think the question here needs to be asked, should the referees have made the call? Because even some of the referees, I think even the head referee, old Cheetah, what's his name? Smathers? Swithers?
Carl Cheffers.
Cheffers, that's it.
Yeah.
He even said, sometimes that gets called, sometimes it doesn't. Listen, it got called. It's a part of the game now. It's part of history. They even stopped and looked at it on replay. And Baker's Cocky Hens is not a fan of replay. Says, I'm hating instant replay today. Yeah, I understand. But they called it. And Bradbury, was it Bradbury?
Yeah, it was James Bradbury.
Bradbury, he even said, yeah, look, I tugged on his jersey. But here's my take on this. From where I was sitting, okay, maybe there was a little bit of ticky-tack holding going on, but is he going to catch the ball? Is Juju Smith-Schuster going to catch that ball? No. I know it doesn't go into I know it wasn't pass interference. I know it was defensive holding. But I think you got to look. Was Schuster going to catch that? No.
I don't know.
No. He did not hold him enough to where Juju Smith-Schuster would have caught that ball.
I don't know. I saw another angle of it. He had a fistful of jersey. I mean, just a complete the jersey is stretched out. I mean, for the angle we had on the broadcast originally, it's not as clear, but like there were some angles at field level where I can see an official looking at that and going, yeah, he absolutely stopped him from getting anywhere. I don't know. And it's one of those, as Jeffrey likes to say, I guess we'll never know, will we?
Right.
But he had a fistful of jersey. Like, I don't even think it was ticky-tack. That is, that's a hold. That is a hold.
He must have let it go right away.
Doesn't matter. If you hold somebody, I mean, and that's the reason why he was so able to admit it after the game, was he even said, I was hoping they wouldn't call it.
Right.
But he knew he grabbed the dude's jersey in a way that an official would call a hold there. And then he also got the arm later. If they had called it for the arm, that would have been ticky-tack to me. But the jersey grab, that's pretty clear as far as from where I'm sitting.
888-368-1580. Average Joe says the Super Bowl itself was very good. I don't see how people were so upset about the penalties, as none of them really affected the outcome. Even the holding one wouldn't have made a difference in the outcome. The field sucked. That's what a lot of people are talking about most, and most likely why there weren't any sacks. Well, I mean, I tend to believe that the field was. I don't think the field was bad. I think it was when you were in the paint. I mean, geez,
if you looked at anybody's slip, it was on any logo on the field.
I mean, NFL, cool it with the paint, man. Good night. If you total up everything, you take the end zones, that Super Bowl 57 logo that was way
it was
too
like a
big.
third of the field.
You had two of those, one on each side. Then that gigantic NFL logo. I remember the days when the NFL logo wasn't that big. I mean, it was in the middle of the field. Everybody could see it. You know who's playing. It's the NFL, man.
The logo used to fit between the 45s. Like now it's extended out to.
I could do away with a bunch of that paint, man. Put the Super Bowl logo in the middle. Jeez. And I don't think it was the field. I think it was the paint that was on the field.
I agree with you. Because anytime I saw anybody slip, they were standing on paint. They were standing on some painted surface on the field.
In the 4 o'clock hour, Radio Ron's joining us. Got some exciting news to be sharing with you. He's going to share the winners of the Harman Solar 1580, the Fanatic Fan Pick'em contest. I don't think the hold would have mattered in the outcome. Even if Philadelphia had that extra time, I mean, we'll never know for sure, but I don't think the outcome would have. The defense was stopping Philadelphia in the fourth quarter. I mean, they had Philadelphia's number.
Once they got the lead, that put Philadelphia in a position that they're not comfortable in, which is that they don't like to have to play from behind because they would love to keep running the football.
Yeah.
But once you make them one-dimensional and make it so that they're in obvious throwing situations, it's not like they're not as good. They're still a very good football team, but they do become a little bit more predictable. And then that Chiefs defense wasn't strained as much going, is it going to be a run? Is it going to be a throw? They kind of knew it was going to be a throw, and they were able to prepare for it.
If anything, the Hurts fumble, that cost them the game. If anything, that cost them the game. Because that was a pick, scoop and score fumble recovery for the Chiefs
on a fumble where Jalen wasn't touched. He just lost the handle on the football.
And that's why, kids, we try to tell you, hold on to the ball with both hands, tuck the ball away. 3 points of contact. Anyway,
and it's Jalen. He's not going to make that mistake again.
Nah,
but obviously,
listen. And I have to say, I was pulling for Jalen because, I didn't have a dog in the race except the bet I put, but lost. Anyway, I was pulling for him because of all the crap he's gone through. And now he is at the Super Bowl, man, after the whole Alabama situation. 888-368-1580.
He just overcame a lot, and I think that's really cool that he's grown from it at every point, because I think in the Alabama game they had to pull him. He's a better thrower now than he was back then.
Oh yeah, far and away. Yeah.
But the fact that he took that to heart and became the passer that we've been able to see, I have nothing but respect for that dude.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Phoenix Open, but there was the Phoenix Open that happened this week, and also on Friday night, Phoenix Suns kind of got buried in the headlines because of everything that was going on. Phoenix Suns went to Indiana and just it came out of there with a win. Torrey Craig, he was playing well at 11 points in 36 minutes. Josh Okogie, 17 points. DeAndre had 22 with 11 rebounds. CP3 had 19 points and 9 assists. D-Book had 21 points. And then you had Ish Wainwright off the bench who threw in with 13 points. Now that's the Phoenix Suns I remember. A team where multiple guys have double-digit scoring, and everybody, there's not one guy out there throwing down, 40 points, and everybody else has like 9, 7. Everybody is throwing down double-digit scoring.
I think it helps to just have Booker out there. He makes the space on the floor better for everybody, and it's just a little bit easier for everybody to score.
Even Jeffrey's guy, Bismack Biyombo, he got out there. Jeffrey's got 2 guys on here with unique names, Bismack Biyombo and Josh Okogie, Jeffrey's favorite players in the Sun. And I think it's just because of their names. Anyway, it was a good game for the Suns, and they looked good. They looked healthy. Played a decent amount of defense. Nobody got injured. Indiana really didn't have a whole lot to beat the Suns with. They kind of again for Indiana, they're just kind of floating through the last part of the season again. You're gonna feel bad for the Pacers, because remember when Reggie was with them, they had some great teams.
They did, and I think that they're just they're one of those teams that unfortunately they're not terrible enough to get the top lottery pick, but they're not good enough to be a real contender. So they're just kind of stuck in that no man's land in the NBA. A lot of Eastern Conference teams are, and they're one of them, which sucks because they've got a lot of talented guys.
The Suns will be at home. They're at home. I know they play the Kings tomorrow night. No, yeah, they're at home tomorrow night at the Foot Fungus, 7 p.m. Clippers come to town on Thursday, and then it's the Thunder on Friday, the 24th. That's a date I think that's going to be important, because I think that may be the we see Kevin Durant. That's the first game back from the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
It's against the Oklahoma City Thunder, KD's former team. And I think the Suns will unveil their new Christmas toy on the Thunder. I think that's when everything starts to come together for the Phoenix Suns.
And it makes a ton of sense too, just because of the injury timeline is that they want to hold him through the All-Star break. So that makes the most sense. Give his MCL, the sprain there enough time to heal. And I think that ought to do it, because he did get injured about a month ago.
So with this MCL thing. Now I don't want to put any dark clouds or doubts in the minds of the great Phoenix Suns faithful out there, and I know there are many. But remember, just a few seasons ago, when Kevin Durant had injured his Achilles, a quote unquote, was it a sprained Achilles? Is that what they called it?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been a sprained Achilles.
Strained,
yeah,
something. And then pop, and he's walking out of the arena there, with in a walking boot or on crutches. I can't remember, but I'm just throwing it out there. What if he comes back and God forbid he loses that is it the MCL?
Yeah.
And he's done. Boy, don't you know?
Well, that's a disaster. I think we can all agree on that.
And I'm glad Jeffrey's not here because he would tell me to shut my whorish mouth. What happens if? I'm not saying it's going to. Boy. I listen, we all need to be putting out positive vibes right now. Positive vibes.
I'm not too worried about it because he did have the month to recover and they're still going to reevaluate it. They're going to keep him on a pitch count. I don't think they're going to force him back and have him play, 40 minutes the first night he's back.
Yeah.
So, and he still needs to, integrate into the offense too. So that's going to take a little bit of time. I think they're going to take their time with him and really, once you made the trade for Kevin Durant, you basically said the part of the year that's important to us is the playoffs. So that's what you're gunning for. And everything else is just going to be little steps along the way to make sure that he's ready and ultimately the team is ready for a postseason run.
Lost Toby's on the text line at 888-368-1580. LOL. Cardinals are second worst odds to win the Super Bowl next year. Time to bet the house. Cry, Eagles, cry.
I agree with that last part.
Isn't Lost Toby a Niners fan, though?
I have no idea. I think so, though. Yeah.
We got to take a break. More of your texts and a little bit more NBA talk, a little Suns action. They added some depth. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm sorry, I can't operate on that vehicle.
But doctor, you took an oath.
That RV, it's my son's RV.
Oh, doctor, isn't there anything you can do?
I'm not a miracle worker, Sheila. I'm an RV surgeon, trained to save the lives of large injured recreational vehicles, which is definitely a real profession.
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
It's time to think about your tax refund. And Jackson Hewitt wants you to think biggest, as in, we guarantee you'll get your biggest refund or your money back plus $100. Who offers that? Come to think of it, nobody. It's one of the biggest guarantees out there and why you can't just file with anybody. For your guaranteed biggest refund, go to Jackson Hewitt today. Your wallet will thank you. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears radio show, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. I am here today to make the statement that just because we're in a bear market does not mean that you have to be losing money. Just like Michael Burry and Warren Buffett, bear markets should be where real generational wealth is created, but most will follow the same broken strategy that lost them in the last bear market. We are inviting you to come to an intensive 3-day trading and investing class where we will show you the trading and investing strategies of the market wizards. This class is typically $299, but right now, for 66% off, you can join us in this class. Just call 8448-TRADER. That's 8448-87-2337 and tell the operator you want the $99 3-day class or text $99 to 25029. That's $99 to 25029.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for sports.
Welcome back to the Monday edition of the Daily Blender of 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic this weekend, going to be a big weekend. Starts Wednesday. The weekend actually starts Wednesday. College basketball as the Killer Lopes will be in action at Rio Grande Valley, 6:45 tip time here on the big flamethrower. Then Friday night, GCU at Abilene Christian there in Texas again. Didn't they just play Abilene Christian?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. Not that long ago. But you play everybody twice, and that's just the way the schedule worked out.
All right. And then Saturday, college basketball, Seton Hall at UConn, 10 a.m. tip time. And then Baylor at Kansas should be a good game. What do you think of that matchup, Baylor at Kansas?
It's going to be a fantastic game. You got the Big 12 matchup. You got, Bill Self and Kansas playing really good basketball, and Baylor has become a force too. So I'm looking forward to that one.
And then Saturday night, you thought we were done. No, we got basketball at 10 a.m. We got basketball at 1:45. Then we got AIA basketball, Sunny Slope Boys Open Division quarterfinals taking on St. Mary's. St. Mary's at Sunny Slope Boys Basketball Open Division quarterfinals, 7 p.m. On the flamethrower. You can't get any better than that. Then Sunday, for you racing guys out there, I'm one of them. I know where I'm going to be Sunday. It is the running of the NASCAR Daytona 500. The actual start of the NASCAR season. I know a lot of you guys out there are like, I'd rather have my eyes pulled out. Okay, I get it. I'm a NASCAR fan, and I know there's a few NASCAR fans out there. NASCAR Daytona 500, 11:30 a.m. on your home for the NASCAR for the Valley, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Let's go to the text line. We have a bunch here. Last Optimist is standing by the fact that he says he did not spend 1 second, not 1 millisecond watching the Super Bowl. He said he was watching the Family Feud marathon with the wifey. I mean, I don't believe that.
I do have trouble believing that. Yeah.
And is it the one with Richard Dawson as the host, or is this the one with what's his name? I can't think of his name now.
Oh, Steve Harvey.
Oh my God, he is so funny.
He's the perfect fit for that show too.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Last Optimist, you're not lying to me. You're lying to yourself. Biscuits and Gravy says, I think they painted some green on the green spots too. Yeah, I agree. Somebody on Twitter was saying the grass was like Oklahoma State grass. It was grown over in Oklahoma.
What?
What the hell?
I don't understand that at all.
You know, we can grow grass here in the desert. I know it's hard to believe, but we can. This weekend they played on a beautiful lawn out there at the TPC Scottsdale. Absolutely gorgeous.
Saw it myself.
That's right. We need to find out more about your exploits out there.
I need to find out more about
it. Did you find Wounded Deer Hill?
I did not. If I did, I wasn't sober when I found it. So I don't know if it got me too, but
Keon Rose, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a day. I got in the party mood with everybody.
Big George. Oh, come on, Big George. I am not. Big George says, Randy, I know you're a closet Eagles fan, but Keon is right. That was holding, and the Eagles player even admitted that he tugged his jersey. Holding, good call by the refs. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. I never said it wasn't holding. I never said that. Did you hear me say that, Keon?
You did not say that, no.
Big George, I'm surprised at you. Generally, you don't come at me like that. I never said it wasn't holding. What I said was it ticky-tack? You know, this is a Super Bowl. This is not a regular season game. This is for all the marbles.
And maybe I came in primed to just accept that this was going to happen in this Super Bowl when I saw that it was Carl Cheffers calling the game. He threw more flags this season than anybody. Why would I expect Carl, of all people, in that moment to not call a hold? You know, and me personally, my thing is you gotta pick one side with the refs. You can't say to the refs, make the calls. If you see it, call it. And then in a big moment, well, you should have let that one slide. That means they can't win. You're putting them in a position where they can't win. And I would rather a ref call it if he sees it than not. That's my personal stance on it.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
And I get it. You know, it would have been more exciting to not have it, but it was there. I'd rather him call it because we kill these guys when they decide to let stuff slide. Like last year in a similar position, the hold was not called near the end of that game against the Rams and the Bengals. And people killed him for that too. So I just don't think they can win that.
I'm not killing anybody. I'm just
you.
saying, I think it maybe was a bit ticky-tactical. That's all I'm saying. Quiet Cannon says, we all witnessed Patrick Mahomes grimacing on the sidelines from an ankle re-entry. And I think he meant re-injury. And then in the second half, he runs for a record run for a quarterback in the Super Bowl. Could you, Randy, please have the medical experts check into those meds that they gave Patrick, that he could be that brave and even consider that option? And he appeared 100% healthy. Just saying that must have been some really good, some very good meds.
It's just painkillers, man.
Look, man, Patrick Mahomes is a tough dude. He maybe is not like the typical, I don't know, whatever you think of a like a Sylvester Stallone or, John Cena or, Gravedigger or I don't know. You input your tough, badass right here. Well, Patrick Mahomes pretty tough dude. And he's a voracious competitor. Whatever it takes to win the game. I think his foot would have had to been, maybe falling off.
It's the only way to stop him. He's because if he can get upright, he's going to play. And that's been his personality going all the way back to Texas Tech is you can't get that dude off the field. I mean, he basically had to destroy his kneecap one year to miss any games at all.
Look, I mean, when he's my age, I'll be 61 here shortly. When he's my age, he won't be able to walk and he'll be slobbering from both sides of his mouth. But hey, he won the Super Bowl, damn it.
He's that guy. I mean, I don't know. I just have a lot of respect for how he plays the game. And, he did it in the AFC title game, too. The ankle was already hurt in that game. And he still had a couple of runs where they weren't as big as, this run. But it was they needed him to get to the first down or close. And he was putting his body on the line every single time.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, as soon as you guys picked Philly on Friday, I bet the Chiefs. Thank you. Thank you, Baker's Cocky Hen.
I bet the Chiefs and I bet Patrick Mahomes for MVP. So when he got hurt originally, I was not feeling great. Was not feeling good.
I don't know why I didn't take Jalen Hurts in the octopus bet. What was I thinking?
That it seems very obvious now, looking back on it. But
when I was looking at the bet, I couldn't think about, well, who would be a good, who would do this? I didn't even think about Jalen Hurts. Idiot. CK says, I see Jeffrey taking another day off. Is he enjoying his vacation day with pina colada in hand? Oh no, not another.
If you like pina coladas,
I just can't take it.
Sounds terrible. We just hate this song a lot.
Jeffrey is not a pina colada guy. Jeffrey's a whiskey guy. Let's keep that in mind. Hook'em Hottie says this about the Suns. Stole Terrence Ross right out from underneath the Mavs this weekend, too. And I told you guys to bet on a Longhorn for the Open. Texas Golf is the NCAA national champions, baby.
Actually, bet Jordan Spieth.
a lot of enthusiasm in that Hook'em Hottie. I mean, there's no punctuation, no exclamation point, no caps. It was just kind of like Texas Golf is the NCAA national champions, baby.
She got right to the point.
I mean,
by using no exclamation points, got right to the point.
888-368-1580. Lost Toby says, here we go. I'm a Niners fan, but at plus 25,000, I'm willing to throw away $10.
That's a good point. Fair point. Because if, like, for instance, when there are people who like me, I don't play the lottery generally, but when the Mega Millions reaches a certain number, and that is a world-altering amount of money to me, I'll go ahead and buy a ticket.
888-368-1580, 2722, who looks like they just began listening. It looks like we have I mean, look at that. Looks like we have a brand new texter here on the text line. 2722. Tom says, seems funny. Super Bowl 57 ended just like Super Bowl 56, holding call, and the game's over. Just saying, do you think the NFL wanted Super Bowl 56 Bengals or the 57 Eagles to win? I don't think so.
I just think the league wants it to be close.
Well, Tom, okay, first, Tom, you don't have to type in Tom says. I mean, I could do that. And let's get you a welcome to the show. And let's get you a texter name. We have all sorts of nicknames. You could be Tom says, I guess. Be kind of weird though.
And not as fun.
I don't think
you got a
would
chance.
Go for Tom says.
I agree. And we're all about fun names, fun texter nicknames here on the Blender, an opportunity to nickname yourself in a way that is not embarrassing.
Yeah. So thank you, Tom says. Think about a nickname where we can help you out. I have a list. The texters, the fourth dimension, the greatest listeners on the face of the planet, they can help you out. Keon could come up with something if he's over his hangover, that is.
Mm-hmm.
From the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
It's like a 2-day hangover. It's been a lot.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for checking in on the text line. Mr. Pringle says it was the Steve Harvey Family Feud marathon. Oh, it don't get no better than Steve Harvey. I'm just saying. I've watched a few of those with Steve Harvey. Oh my God,
guy's a national treasure.
I mean, we've got to protect him at all costs.
Absolutely.
Kiss the Cook says, I'm not a NASCAR fan, but a dirt track fan, and don't you forget it. I won't forget it, Kiss the Cook. I promise. I won't. Boy, he seems angry. Just a little bit. The Last Optimist says, Toradol is a hell of a drug, Randy. Yeah, well, yeah. Big George, Randy, now that the football season's over, and we're 7 months away from the next meaningful NFL game, I think we need a little Christmas. Oh no, Big George. Oh, don't do this to me.
It's February, Big George.
Don't do this. Oh my God. Really? All right, that's on that note. We'll wrap up hour number 1 here of the Daily Blender on this Monday. Remember, gang, you have a few meaningful hours left before it's Valentine's Day. Coming up around the corner here in the 4 o'clock hour, Radio Ron's going to join us. Got an exciting announcement to talk about. Also, he will be helping us announce the winners of the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Fan Pick'em. And I know you all have been waiting with the bells on to find out who the winners are. We'll talk a little more football. We got some of that. We got some baseball news. We're going to talk this depth that we were talking about just a minute ago. The Suns running for a championship. There's more right here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic on the Daily Blender.
Doug.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Don't let your kids get fooled by the people they meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but those strangers are using their relationship to deal drugs to your kids. If you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Find resources at talknowaz.com. Don't let your kids get fooled. Talk to them. And visit talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to hour number 2 of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. My name is Randy White, right over there. Sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio, Keon Rose. You are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. I already said you're on the text line, right? Yeah, you're on the text line. And last hour we talked some Super Bowl, and we got a little Suns talk in. One thing we did not get to, and one thing that Jeffrey had talked about last week here on this very radio program, what happened to the depth on this team? So with Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges going away, how are the Suns going to address a depth, a problem, bench players? Well, apparently Suns owner Matt Ishbia and coach Monty Williams joined in the pursuit of a veteran guard, Terrence Ross, who, by the way, was in last hour on the text line. Hook'em Hottie was talking about how we stole him from Dallas. Yeah, we kind of did. The Phoenix Suns got the inside road on attaining Terrence Ross, who is waiting on a buyout from the Magic. I believe it was finalized Sunday. so he can sign with any team once he clears waivers. And I don't know if that's happened yet. But here's what you're getting. 38% 3-point shooting, athleticism, a guy that can run the team as well. Shoots the long ball and is able to. He's a veteran. He's able to stand tall in the face of adversity. And I think it's just what the Suns needed. I think it's exactly what the Suns needed to do. And I still don't think they're done. I could see more moves happening. But Keon, what do you think about now? We've got KD, we've got TJ Warren, and we have Terrence Ross. How do you feel about the Suns now?
I feel better than I did before. And I already felt pretty good about the Suns before because I never thought that the Suns had no depth. Obviously they weren't going to be as deep as they were before, but Josh Okogie, we talked about him against the Pacers. He started, but obviously he's not going to be a starter, when Durant gets there. So he'd be on the bench, and he's already shown what he can do from the bench. We've already seen that Ish Wainwright's pretty valuable coming off the bench. And then TJ Warren or Torrey Craig, whoever doesn't get the starting spot, that person will be coming off the bench. And of course, Bismack Biyombo, we already know is a quality bench player. So the Suns bench just got a little bit deeper, and I didn't think that it was lacking to begin with.
So if Phoenix will pick up once he's able to sign, and he's expected to sign with the Phoenix Suns, Phoenix will pick up another veteran player, a guy that I believe can help this team go deep into the playoffs this season. Now, yeah, granted, we've got to get Kevin Durant on the floor, and we've got to have production from him. We've got to stay healthy. Devin Booker has been dealing with a hamstring all season long. DeAndre Ayton's been out. Cam Payne has been out. For a while there, it was the walking wounded playing for the Phoenix Suns. But I think if they get healthy, they stay healthy. You add, KD in there, and now you add some depth with Terrence Ross. This has got to be a team to raise some eyebrows in the West. Even John Morant will have to take notice, don't you think?
I think a lot of the teams in the West are going to have to take notice. You don't have two scorers like Booker and Durant on one team, and it doesn't do anything. And then when you add, obviously, the fact that this is a deeper squad than what people realized going in because of the Terrence Ross acquisition and maybe some more stuff down the pike. It does look like James Jones is continuing to work. Matt Ishbia has given him the green light to go out there and get whatever pieces that he thinks that the Suns need to be competitive. And that is absolutely exciting. And it does mean that some of these teams that were kind of surging in the West have to think about it a little bit. I think the Kings have to start thinking about, their positioning in all of this. The Nuggets are the number one team, but, with about a third of the season left, they're going to have to start thinking about potentially what happens if they run into the Suns.
As long as Ross agrees to the buyout by March 1st, he's eligible to be on the new team's playoff roster. I don't see why he wouldn't. Is there some reason why Terrence Ross would not want to come to Phoenix?
I can't think of any. I think if you're a player like him, who's been a veteran in this league, who's played, as a starter, played as a guy coming off the bench, drafted, really high, that you're going to be somebody in a position to win a championship. I don't see any reason why you don't take that opportunity.
888-368-1580. Lots to talk about as the Suns add more depth. Do you see the Suns making any more moves before the playoffs begin?
I think there's a couple they could make, but I don't see them making too many more. Just because what else do you need to do? You went and got the biggest trade piece in at the trade deadline. And then you filled out the depth of your roster some more. I don't know what else that they could do from a perspective of signing a free agent that's really going to do more than what they've done already.
888-368-1580. Stockton Slab says Patrick Mahomes actually took x-rays today. They came back positive. They showed that Patrick has that dog in him. He got that dog in him. Yes, he does. Hook'em Hottie says, I can't brag about football, so that's my level of excitement. There you go. She was talking about the Longhorns winning the Texas NCAA, won the NCAA national championship for golf.
Look, you gotta root for something. That is true.
Golf.
Take your wins where you can get them.
CK on the text line says, Tom says nickname should have been Pina Colada.
Oh my God.
I'm going to have to quit reading that. Fairweather Dan says Tom's nickname should be Butthead. What? Why? What
did Tom ever do?
Butthead? No, Tom, I don't think you should be Butthead. Not at all. I mean, I don't think that you're a bad guy. I haven't met you. Maybe you are Butthead, but I don't think your nickname should be Butthead. The Reaper says, hey guys, hope you had a great weekend. On to baseball. Yeah, no kidding. Cecil agrees. The Wonder Dog agrees. On to baseball. How about some baseball? Our beloved MLB commissioner says that the extra runner is going to be permanent. The extra inning, extra runner rule will remain. Oh my God. Somebody stop him. He's out of control.
He's out of control. I don't know if there's anybody that I've ever liked less in baseball. I'm talking pick a steroid user, and I probably like them more than I like Rob. He's horrible.
In all regular season extra inning games, a runner will be placed on second base to begin the 10th inning and every subsequent extra inning after that until a winner is determined, according to a source familiar with baseball's situation. Rob Manfred intimated all winter long that the rule would return in 2023, and the Joint Competition Committee now has voted unanimously to adopt the rule that has been in place for the past 3 seasons. Now, I see now what the problem is. They have a Joint Competition Committee. You know what's happening is they're in a room, they're having a competition to see who gets the joint. And that's why we're getting these boneheaded, rules. Dude, listen, we're going to put a guy in second base. We're going to screw everybody.
It's just like it's weird because he'll sit there and act like there's stuff that he is not capable of doing. I can't investigate the Astros and punish them at the same time. But when Rob Manfred actually wants to get something done, he gets it done. Which means that, if he wanted to get something done that was actually useful, that we actually wanted to see on a baseball diamond, he could do that too. He just won't do it.
He's according to Major League Baseball, they feel the pitchers don't mind the less wear and tear on their arms. That front office personnel hate the havoc that long extra inning games create with their rosters in the days following. But that's baseball, man.
We've been doing this for 100+ years.
That's part of the game, man. They're also, listen to this, baseball fans. They're tweaking the rule that allows position players to take the mound when their teams are leading or trailing by 6 or more runs. Now, under the new guidelines, a team must be either up or down by 10 runs or more in the 9th inning to let a position player pitch.
So what were they just saying about the wear and tear on pitchers' arms just now?
But trailing teams can use a position player anytime they are down by 8 runs or more.
Why? Who does this rule help in any way? I'm not sure what the point of this rule is.
Tell you what, Nolan Ryan would not. He wouldn't stand for this. I have a feeling Nolan Ryan on his first time, you put some guy out there on second base that didn't earn his way on, Nolan Ryan would do the second base pickoff move where he wheels around, and then he would just beat him at second base. Just plunk him. The guy would be leading off. He'd get 100 miles an hour right in the chest.
Damn.
Pooh.
Because and this is obviously not a move for saving pitchers' arms or whatever excuse that they're giving us. What this is an attempt to speed up baseball. And I've said it before, but I don't mind saying it again. When you try to speed up baseball, what you are trying to do is make baseball less like baseball. And you're going to offend the people who have been watching baseball for years, who love baseball exactly the way that it is. And you're not exactly going to win over all the other people who still look at baseball and think it's baseball. So you're basically just putting yourself in a no man's land of entertaining nobody. This is silly.
I got news for you. Here's what's coming next. They're going to go to like beer league softball rules where every batter starts with one strike.
I mean, you say that, but I can't say that it can't happen with this commissioner of all people. I can't say that it can't happen.
I will give in to the pitch clock. Okay, you put the pitch clock in. Although I hate it. Put the pitch clock in. All right. I'm good with that. Runner on second, I absolutely hate, because how do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile that you won by one run on a guy that did not get on base? He was put there by the commissioner, Commissioner Drunky Drunk of the Major League Baseball. They put a runner on second base. You could lose a game by a guy who was put on second base for no apparent reason, just because you want to speed the game up.
That
just doesn't make sense to me.
Me neither. It ain't baseball though. That's what it's not.
In other baseball news, the baseball family mourning the loss of Ted Lerner. Ted Lerner was 97 years old. He and his family, the billionaire real estate developer, he and his family bought the Washington Nationals in 2006. You may remember that he is the guy that moved the Montreal Canadiens, the Montreal Expos from Montreal to the nation's capital back in 2000. He's the guy that did it, and he died over the weekend, 97. Wow.
Yeah, and it's cool that he was the guy that became the owner and moved the team back, because when they were the Washington Senators, he was a little kid when they won a championship. And so that's something that's been, with him the entire time. And he always wanted the team to come back to Washington and to win a championship. And I'm glad he got to see one before he stepped down as owner.
Under Lerner's ownership, the Nationals went from one of baseball's worst teams in their first several seasons in Washington to World Series champions in 2019. They're also credited with revitalizing the city's Navy Yard area since Nationals Park opened in 2008. Now there's a guy that is a good dude. It did some good for his community, did some good for his city, and that's a guy you want to get behind and say, good for you. Although I can't root for the Nationals because I'm a Diamondbacks fan. Just saying.
That's fair.
But anyway, rest in peace, sir. Godspeed. Meanwhile, in other Major League Baseball news, Derek Jeter set to join Fox in their studio this coming MLB season. So here's the lineup. So Derek Jeter is going to be on set with Alex Rodriguez.
That alone is worth tuning in for.
And he's going to join Hall of Famer David Ortiz and host Kevin Burkhardt. Kevin Burkhardt.
You don't like Kevin Burkhardt?
I think he comes across, kind of smarmy to me.
I can kind of see that. I think he's all right. I keep forgetting what's his name on Monday Night Football. After seeing him,
Steve Levy.
Steve Levy. No one is ever going to be more smug than Steve Levy to me.
See, for me, it's one or the other. They're both the same
1A and
human
1B.
being. Yeah. Smarmy. Both of them are. And I don't know if you caught this, but during one of the commercial breaks during the Super Bowl halftime or something, I turned on the Puppy Bowl. Guess who's calling the Puppy Bowl game? Steve Levy.
It's Steve Levy. Wow.
Yeah. How far have you fallen, Steve Levy?
Oh, they just have Steve Levy doing any sport now. Like it doesn't even matter. They're just like, go do that, I guess.
Wow. Now, there's your baseball roundup here on this edition of the Daily Blender. Let's check in on the text line. Hook'em Hottie says, Ghost Runner is so stupid. Why are they ruining the games that we love? Why are they ruining the game? She put sigh, so I just sighed. Biggest winner in that game yesterday, YouTube television. They finally put the final nail in DirecTV's grave. Gotta love it. Oh, you mean with the announcement of the football? What is it? The multi-channel?
The Sunday Ticket.
And you don't need a satellite dish. Smarmy. Cardinal Art says, "What's up, Randy and Keon? May I have a double shot of your finest whiskey, preferably Crown, and a weather forecast report? Winds whipping over here on the west side." There's a. All right, from the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White. Chance of rain throughout the afternoon here. And there has been a wind advisory issued by the National Weather Service. Cool weather's overnight, or cool temperatures overnight. It's going to be another one tomorrow. Clouds will persist around. Another chance of rain. I don't know. I say stay inside and drink whiskey. 58 degrees currently in the valley under cloudy conditions. Tomorrow, 62 and a 60% chance of rain. From the 1580 The Fanatic Harman Solar Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randy White, back to you, Randy. And Keon. There you go, Cardinal Art. Pinocchio. Randy, how can you walk by that doggy without petting him? Good looking pup. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Cecil the Wonder Dog, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that, Pinocchio. When we come back, Radio Ron should be joining us here on the Daily Blender. We've got some exciting news to share with you. And also, we're going to be revealing the winners of the Harman Solar 1580 The Fanatic Fan Pick'em. So come right back, gang. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
1580 The Fanatic is your home for college basketball action.
This is sure to be a Big 12 shootout when Baylor travels to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Saturday at 1:45.
Listen to all the action live from Premier Games and Conference Showdowns. High-paced action, last-minute buzzer beaters, and all the drama that is college basketball. All in one place. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We are efforting Radio Ron. Is he in the studio? He's good. So before we get there, a couple of quick texts. Here's a text from Radio Ron. Hey, read my text. Wow. Then he also says, I'm sorry, Big George. Once a month limit on the Christmas song. Sorry. Here's another one. I'm instituting a once-a-week limit on the Pina Colada song request. Direct your complaints to customer service at 1580thefanatic.com. Wow, Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you. Thank you for stepping in.
It's getting to be a little too much. You know, come on.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I mean, thank you very much.
Really, I know people are hurting, because they drank too much, they ate too much.
yeah,
Their team didn't win.
Yeah.
But come on. I mean, we really, this is just going to add insult to injury by making you play this stuff all the time.
Oh, well, it just happens. I mean, I'm not here, playing it.
All right.
It just happens.
Well, I am the commish.
Yeah, you are.
So,
you are.
Good point.
Do we have to repeat this? Does everybody get it?
I think everybody's got it. I think everybody, Radio Ron, everybody, passing down judgments and justice for all. So, welcome to the program here, Ron.
Hey, it's glad to be here. Jeffrey's, tinkering on something somewhere. And so, they call on the big guns to, make the show a little bit more entertaining. How about that?
He's been sitting in the bullpen for several innings now. He's ready to go. So, what's the first thing you want to talk about? Radio
well, I don't
Ron?
know. How was your weekend? Did everybody enjoy the game? Did Randy, we do have to talk about something because as you know, I was out at the WM Phoenix Open for many days during the weekend.
I understand that.
And I was in that tent that we had that little episode with you a couple years ago, and so they had to frisk me and make sure you weren't anywhere near.
Did you enjoy it though?
Well, actually, there that I may have, but that's a whole nother subject. We're not talking about that right now.
The point is, okay. So,
it was a good time out there, and the folks at DraftKings were there. There was a lot of FanDuel present, and we are the sports betting radio station. So, of course, taking a leadership role in that, I did make a few wagers on the golf tournament over the weekend.
Just a few though.
Few, but the good thing is, the more bets you make, the better the chance that one of them might win.
Well, you know what the great one, Wayne Gretzky, says, you miss every shot that you don't make. So, I mean, if you're not making a bet, you're going to lose it anyway.
Well, I have to say, look, I'm one of those novice bettors. I like to win a lot and bet a little. So,
don't we all?
So most of these bets were really ranged from $1 to $3 a bet, but I did come in with one, so I'm going to gloat a little bit here because I picked a 4-bet parlay that you can only do on FanDuel, by the way.
Okay.
And it had, it picked the winner. It had Scheffler winning. It had John Rahm coming in the top 5. It had I can't remember, Sanjay Im coming in the top 10, and Justin Thomas coming in the top 20. So
wow.
That?
Well, you hit it at all accounts there.
That's
nice.
Right. So a little bit more milk money for RC here.
All right. Well, that's good. I've been meaning to talk to you about a race. So maybe I don't know. Maybe
well, I lost it all in the Super Bowl later that night. So it's gone.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That's betting for you.
Now this is a big day for our radio station here for the Fanatic. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I'd say it's a big week because it's been a long process. You've heard it on the other shows. You've talked about it on this show. We've certainly heard from the Fourth Dimension ad nauseum about the disruption to the 1580 site, to the quality of the coverage of the signal on 1580. It's not the reason why we also have 2 FM channels, but we do have 2 FM channels, and people do listen to us on the app. And 1580 is not all that bad, but it's not what it can be. It's not what it was supposed to be. In fact, it wasn't what it was supposed to be from 6 years ago. Today is the 6-year anniversary of 1580, the Fanatic signing on the air. How about that?
Wow, how about that? That's amazing.
Cool. Where's that sound effect? I want to ta-da. Where's the ta-da?
Oh, you want the there we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Can you believe it, Randy?
I can't. That's amazing.
Were you here? You were here then, right? I knew you.
Yes, you did.
Oh
yes,
my God.
Did. I was on Money Radio then, but yeah, you know me. I know.
Have I seen you since then?
Many years ago.
Oh wait, I did. I saw you at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and we won't talk about what happened.
Saw me at least there. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so it's 6 years. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of growing pains. Great staff. Some changes along the way, of course.
Yeah.
But we've had things pretty stable for now, and everybody seems to be part of this team. And we always set up this radio station to be kind of the alternative to what you were getting on the radio dial when it came to sports.
Right.
And, a lot of the experts, the naysayers said, well, that's not what you do for a sports radio. You're not supposed to have fun. You're supposed to talk about the sports. Well, I said, we should have some fun too, and certainly the Daily Blender exemplifies that. I commend you and Jeffrey and Keon and all of those bodies that were left in Keon's wake prior to him showing up in the seat,
all of the people we had to step over to get,
right.
here.
Because they're buried somewhere in this building, and that's kind of why we need the carpets clean.
Kind of like the FBI. There's a wall, and there's like a bunch of plaques on there of those that have fallen before you.
But Keon, you're you've really come around. I have to say, Keon, you're doing just fine. Oh, by the way, Randy, let them know that when I compliment somebody, it's kind of like the kiss of death, right?
Oh no.
Been nice working with you.
Yeah.
Keon.
So you were saying that you hated me, right? You just don't like me at all.
No, you guys have been a great addition. It's funny, you go 6 years into something and you think, you've reached a certain stage where you're going to cruise this or that. We're really at a starting point that we've been trying to get to in the 6 years. And I alluded to that. That is that we are in the final days of a significant upgrade to the signal quality and the coverage of 1580 AM. So that's worth another round of applause.
Absolutely. Yeah. How about that? Yeah.
It was actually supposed to be. Okay, calm down. It was actually supposed to be today, of course. Like it was supposed to be every day for the last year and a half. But they're out there, they're working on it, and I was involved in that. I think Jeffrey's kind of out there, helping out, which we really aren't supposed to talk about, but that's just another reason why he's not here. But it's coming any day. Could be tomorrow, could be the next day. You really don't know, but hopefully you'll recognize it. The listeners, particularly those that are out in the East Valley, those that are on the outskirts of town during the day, they're going to see a difference. And we're real excited about it. It's befitting of our 6th year anniversary to finally have the coverage that we expected with 1580. Supposedly, I'm told by the scientists, by the engineers, that it should be heard very loud and clear all the way from Tucson, maybe as far north as Flagstaff. So
yeah,
we will see. I know you've every time for a while now, Randy, that you've referred to us as the flamethrower.
Yeah.
I kind of like cringed on that, and I go, yeah, it's more like the Bic lighter.
The flamethrower.
But anyway, I'm not going to belabor it. I just wanted to thank our listeners, thank our sponsors, thank the staff. We've hung in there, and there's only good thing. Look, we had the Super Bowl on this radio station. We're the March Madness station. We've got, great product. We have got great content, great programming, and it's only going to continue. And I hope everybody, continues to support the station, let people know about us. And, you guys hopefully will be here for a long time to come.
See how he slipped in, hopefully? See that? He always leaves the door open.
Yeah,
That's why Ron is a very shrewd businessman. Yeah.
I had to step over a few people, like getting into the room. I nearly tripped, and the owners cannot deal with their own workman's comp policy.
Ron, before you slip off into the darkness there's a few textures from the fourth dimension. You got a few minutes to take some texts?
Hey, that would be. We're also going to do the Harmon Solar fan pick'em winners too.
So Kiss the Cook is on the text line and says, wait, this is the one and only Grand Poobah Radio Ron. Woo! So there you go. Lost Toby says, wait, this is a sports station. So that's another one.
Right.
Woos. I can't do it like Jeffrey does. I don't know how he does that. I think his shorts are tighter than mine. Woo says, hi guys, happy 6th birthday, 1580. And let's see here. CK, we can't do that. We can't pass pina coladas all around. But he says, that's great news, Radio Ron. Pina coladas all around, but we can't do that. Thank
goodness.
You could do it, just can't play the song.
Yeah, well,
actually, I'll make a few. We'll have a toast for it and all that kind of stuff. Actually, I'm actually not going to be imbibing any further. That was my post Super Bowl resolution. So.
Okay.
Some of us did enough damage this weekend. I won't mention me.
Kian, I saw you sleeping on the couch over the weekend. I stopped in here. So
Big George says,
I didn't know that you saw that.
Radio Ron, with your new transmitter, can you aim a little more signal by way of San Diego so I can listen at night? Thank you, sir.
Well, we would be happy to do that if the FCC police wouldn't come and haul us all off somewhere.
Let's see. The Berg says, great news and happy anniversary. Here since day one. Yeah, Berg, thank you.
That's true, Berg. Thank you very much.
So there's a few more on here we'll get to in a few minutes, but we've got some other business to do, and that's the Harman Solar 1580 Fanatic fan pick'em contest. Now, this was pretty impressive. When I was looking at this list from Jeffco, the winner, first place winner, and the person's got $1,580 from Harman Solar. He got 67.2% or 0.02% right. 191 picks were right. That's pretty impressive when you think about the volume of picks that we have. Do you have the list in front of you, or you want me to announce who that is?
I have the list in front of me, and I really feel it's unfortunate that Jeffco's not here because this was always his baby. I supported it, and it's great that the fans are part of it. Some of you who are close to our fan pick'em will recognize that about midway through the season, I dropped off because I failed miserably, and that's not a reason to do that. I should have kept going, but
so Radio Ron has ghosted us.
I actually had a glitch on my computer, and my phone didn't work, and then I couldn't find it. And next thing you know, the season was over. So there you go.
Couldn't find his phone.
Yeah. So
all right. So the first place winner for the Harman Solar Fan Pick'em contest. Go ahead, Radio Ron.
Okay, first place winner of $1,580. provided by our wonderful support with Harman Solar is Max Gruber.
Max Gruber. All right. Yeah, congratulations, Max Gruber.
He had 191 correct.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
That's amazing. That is
All right.
amazing. Now, this next one is kind of near and dear to my heart because did I lose that? Oh, there we are.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
You're there.
Okay.
We glitched for a second.
Oh, no. The crowd, the studio audience just stopped clapping all at once.
I see. Well, look at, you guys make fun of me. And of course, I did not come in here with my Himaway bike, but, and I'm not wearing my members only jacket either. So
who says make fun of you? I mean, Jeffrey's been very respectful about you and your bicycle gang.
Well, this is not going to be an endorsement for Himaway, even though you heard me on the radio talking about it. It is great fun. And the people at Himaway were so kind enough to provide a bike for one of you to win as the second prize of this contest. It's a Himaway Zebra. It's one of their latest technologies. These things are like beasts. I mean, I ride them 20 plus miles a day, and it's not just a motor, guys. You actually get exercise. So it's a lot of fun.
It's got pedals on it.
You know what the greatest thing is? You get to pass up those guys wearing the Speedos and everything, and you just kind of flip them off because they're so mad that you're going faster than them. It's really, particularly if there's like a group of them,
Yeah.
Where they got like 20 or 30 of them, and I'm just blowing right by them.
Just some guy with his tight onesie and his teardrop shaped helmet pedaling for his life, and you just cruise right on.
Let me
by.
tell you, most of these people should not be wearing what they're wearing. It's just disgusting.
Well, that's true.
So anyway, so the winner of the Himaway Zebra, which will need to get your information, is Dirty Rat with 189 right.
All right. 189, another impressive score.
That was close. I guess Jeffrey said that they kind of pulled away from the pack. So they probably knew that they won previous to this announcement.
Well, that's amazing. And in third place is another it's a $500 winner.
With 185 right, third place, $500 provided by Harman Solar is Random Texter.
All right. There you go. There
Wow.
you go. Yeah. congratulations to all our winners. Thank you so much for participating. I'm sure we'll do this again next year.
Well, and I'm sure we'll be in touch with each of you through your email addresses you've provided, and we'll need to get a little bit more information and, kind of cross the T's and dot the I's. So, we do all this legit, and we try to do things legit here, Randy. Sometimes
make a strong effort.
Yeah, well, as I would suspect, we do things legit. Yeah.
Well, speaking of legit, this station is legit. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about this week. I'm really happy that everybody is supporting us, and thanks for letting me on the show. I'm going to exit stage right because I've stayed too long, and I'm serious about not playing the pina colada thing anymore. That's
we've had enough.
You're lucky
You
I
guys
said
hear
once a week on that. Big George, I don't care. I don't care, Big George. Moved back from San Diego. Okay.
Yeah. All right, there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Radio Ron.
Thanks for having me, guys. Keep on keeping on.
Thanks for being here and being on the show with us. Wow, the winners, that was impressive. It was impressive, Keon. Congratulations, Max Gruber, Dirty Rat, and Random Texter in that order. Your first, second, and third place, and we will be in contact with you about how to get your prizes. I don't know how many I got. I'm sure when Jeffrey comes back, he will tell me what you and I did on the fan picking thing.
There may be some laughter involved when he talks about it. I also may or may not have just disappeared completely after about week 16. It just, I was doing okay, and then I had the worst week 16, and I was very discouraged. Just kind of never came back around.
Yeah, I don't even know how I stay around as long as I do. It's kind of like fantasy football. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but somehow I managed to somewhere in the middle. It seems like every season. All right, enough about us and more about you, the Fourth Dimension. We'll take your texts. We've got some news from the Waste Management Phoenix Open around the corner. And also, Keon's going to break down the latest NCAA basketball poll. That's right around the corner on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi, Jada Cantor here, Diamond Dave's daughter. I've watched my dad as I grew up talk about what he can do, what no one else can, because of our family's fourth generation connections, direct importing and operating out of an office instead of a typical retail location. If you want something special in a diamond, a wholesale price, and to have the owner personally involved in your special diamond, call my dad, Diamond Dave.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450 or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
With LifeWell, help is here. We offer mental health and addiction treatment focused on adults with financial need. Learn about recovery and whole person health at lifewell.us and find an inspiring career to become part of our team. We're hiring psychiatrists, therapists, case managers, clinicians, and more. Start a career of hope, health, and healing. Visit lifewell.us. This message is sponsored by LifeWell and a Virginia G. Piper Charitable Trust COVID Response Grant.
Sun Devil men's basketball returns to Desert Financial Arena to close out the home portion of its regular season schedule against Colorado Thursday, February 16th at 6 p.m. and Utah Saturday, February 18th at 4 p.m. Arrive early on Saturday for the Sun Devils Senior Day recognitions. Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time. Like right now. Or right now. Or even now. Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
So much happening on the big station. And that's why, Radio Ron doesn't like me to call it the flamethrower, but we are. Wednesday night, GCU will be in action against Rio Grande Valley, 6:45. Friday night, GCU again, Abilene Christian, the opponent. That'll be at 8:45 on Saturday. Seton Hall takes on UConn live on 1580 The Fanatic, 10 a.m. Then it's a Baylor-Kansas matchup you don't want to miss if you're a NCAA basketball fan, 1:45 tip time. The AIA have begun their playoffs, and St. Mary's will be at Sunny Slope to take on their boys team, 7 p.m. tip time. And then Sunday, it's the NASCAR Daytona 500 live from the Daytona Super Speedway in Daytona, Florida. Let's get back to the text line because I missed so many texts here. Bruno Baller says, and now that wait a minute, hey, it's not working. It's not working. I may have to reset. Who's up there? The Berg is up there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reset this. So never mind. Let's just go on while this resets. Waste Management Phoenix Open, little golf tournament. It's been here in Phoenix for a couple of years. It happened this weekend. I don't know why they. It seems to me if you're an up and comer in the golf world, why you would have your golf tournament on Super Bowl weekend every year. They can't expect to draw a big crowd when it's on Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, isn't it true though? The entire world is going to be tuned in to every single second of what's going on with Super Bowl Sunday, Keon?
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, the Super Bowl, I almost enjoy just having the Phoenix Open there because you get to watch something that's not Super Bowl pregame, and then you just get to go jump into the game. I'm of course kidding. I think Saturday's count was somewhere around 250,000 people. It was absurd. It was insane out there on Saturday. And there's 12,000, 15,000 around the 16th hole itself in what they're calling the Coliseum. That once a year it shows up at the TPC Scottsdale, and people they are running in and out of there. People get there at 5 a.m. just so they can be on the 16th all day long. Just getting plastered at the 16th. Oh my God. There was a report. There was 9 different beer cup snakes that were measured like 20 feet or more long. Look, it truly is the People's Open. They are not kidding when they advertise. It is the People's Open, and the Scottsdale Thunderbirds have done an amazing job with it. And it's been one of the elevated tournaments. I think the winner, $3 million was his share of the purse. $3 million. Scotty Scheffler, defending champion, now 2-time champion of the Phoenix Open. He is now, because of that, he is now the number 1 golfer in the world as well. In the last 53 weeks for Scotty Scheffler, according to CBS Golf here, in the last 53 weeks, Scheffler has won 5 times, has 14 top 10s, taken home $29 million, and been the world number 1 golfer 2 different times for a total of 30 weeks, 31 if you count this upcoming week. I mean, talk about a good year. Yeah, I mean, talk about a good year. Talk about a good weekend. I looked it up there, 3.6 mil for Scotty Scheffler. Yeah. Being so open. So that's. And how about John Rahm? He nearly came back and won the damn thing. In his last 9 starts, he's lost to only 19 golfers.
His worst finish in his last 9 starts, tied 8th, and that was at the Hero World Challenge. In his last 9 starts. When he started off his year in Hawaii, he won 2 tournaments back to back, one at Colin Morikawa's expense. But he just, I mean, John Rahm, 2 tournaments has nearly $5 million in the bank.
Yeah. And I anticipate he's going to win a major this year. The
Oh my
way
God.
he's playing, he's on fire.
How about the return of Ricky Fowler? Did anybody follow Ricky Fowler? I told you to watch him. He's got his putter working. Ricky Fowler looked, wonderful. It was good to see him back. Jason Day, was good to see him back, former #1 golfer in the world. I know there's some of you out there going, golf, really? Come on, you've heard all the Super Bowl rhetoric. Let's talk a little Waste Management Phoenix Open.
He didn't hang in there up top, but my guy Jordan Spieth made a solid return. You know, he had a good weekend.
And then there's Colin Morikawa. What's wrong with him? Well, I thought this was going to. Some in the world of golf said this is the next coming of Tiger Woods.
He did look like it for a little bit there, but I honestly, the way he started the year with that loss where he just imploded, just burst into flames, that's a hard one to come back from. I remember maybe it was 2010 at the US Open when Rory McIlroy just did a similar thing, just absolutely collapsed. He never bounced back from it, really. You know, he's such a great golfer. He's going to be in contention all the time.
Yeah.
But I think Rory kind of never lived up to the promise of that because he was just in his head about, the way things fell apart. And I think I think we're in a crossroads for Colin where he can continue to sort of mentally get trapped in that cycle and not get out of it. Or maybe he can't, because I think the dude's very talented.
Xander Schauffele had a wonderful week as well. Also, the Canadian cat, Nick Taylor. He had a great week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna fade away over the course of the tournament. And then he made a comeback there on Sunday.
Is there a nicer guy in golf than Scotty Scheffler, though? I mean, he's a non-assuming, oh golly, oh gee whiz kind of dude. He was laughing with his opponents out on the golf course, having fun, just like it was another day for him in front of a million people. He's out there on the golf course. It never gets quiet. There's a constant hum and buzz going on there. You could probably power some small cities in the United States with the energy coming off the golf course at the TPC Scottsdale.
I do think that having a guy at the face of golf that isn't prickly, likes to talk to people. For a second there, it looked like the face of golf was about to be Brooks Koepka or Bryson DeChambeau. And I'm glad that didn't happen. Let me just put it that way. I like both of those guys, but the constant, I don't really want to talk to people. I don't really want to talk to the media. I'm not really big on engaging with the fans. I prefer Scheffler being the guy that kind of becomes the face of golf.
So Kyle Porter on CBSSports.com, he made the observation that Phoenix is what the LIV thinks it is. In other words, this is what the LIV thinks they have created. This kind of fun atmosphere, this party-like atmosphere, this energetic atmosphere, people just swaying in the breeze and in the tower there at 16 in the Coliseum. Beers are flowing all day. There's no way the LIV is ever going to duplicate anything that the Waste Management Phoenix Open is.
Because they tried to buy their way there. And I think that you've got to build up fan trust over time, like the Phoenix Open has, and people will engage. And I think that with the Live, I think they thought that if they showed up and they were not the PGA Tour, that people would treat them like rock stars. That's just not true.
How about Stuart Sink strolling down after his tee shot on Friday
with the KD jersey?
And the KD jersey. I think he was like customer number 1 getting the KD jersey, and then took it off and threw it up into ravenous wolves at the 16th.
Because he knew that was going to play well. He knew that was going to play well.
Stuart Sink is the man. Another national treasure. We need to protect at all costs.
Agreed.
888-368-1580. Let me reset here on the text line and see if we fixed it. Curious ASU fan. Golf, really? You guys were giving me grief over my texts about soccer. In soccer, people are jogging and running around for over 90 minutes. Some players log between 4 and 8 miles per game. But you don't have any problem talking about golf, where people walk around and take golf carts everywhere. Okay, A, this is the Waste Management Phoenix Open, and you don't nearly hear us talk about golf very much on this program. B, I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I was just going to hit the highlights, which I think I did. And C, the only people in golf carts out there are the staff and the officials and the TV crew. These guys are walking 700 yards or whatever it is, everything uphill, downhill, all that business.
And I don't have a problem with soccer. I don't know. I don't think I've ever given you grief over it. You know, Jeffrey's not a big soccer guy, but I don't know. Everyone's got their preferences. That's his.
Blissful Hayes. How did Sergio Garcia play? Not very well. He wasn't there. Yeah. Not very well.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right. Now let me get to some of these older ones. We're running out of time in this hour. Bruno Baller on the text line says, now that football is over, will 1580 carry the NCAA basketball tournament? Yeah, I think you heard our fearless leader, Radio Ron, on this very radio station say that we are home for a March Madness. And that's why we have these NCAA basketball games on the weekend and during the week. We will be carrying from the first tip to the last basket of the NCAA season and March Madness. It includes some of the tournaments, the play-in tournaments, or not play-in, but the what am I thinking of? Some of the league tournaments. They're not league tournaments. What am I thinking? The conference tournaments.
Conference.
There we go. Conference tournaments, and then the first four that we'll be playing those games. I mean, we've got you hooked up here on the Fanatic. The Fighting Wampa says, biggest winner in the game yesterday. YouTube TV finally got the final nail in DirecTV's grave. Yeah, I think I read that before. Stockton Slap says, why don't you like the rule? Seems like it'll make extra innings more interesting. Interesting? How does it change the game? How does it change the game? We're talking about baseball and having the ghost runner on second base. How does it change? How does it change the game? So you have a guy on second base you can't account for, and no other in no other sports do they add a potential run or score in a game by having some magically made up ghost runner at second base. Does football do it?
No.
Let's not kick the field goals anymore. Let's just assume that the field goal was good. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I get it. I disagree that it makes the game more interesting, because more interesting is guy's got to earn his way on the base paths. Like that is more interesting to me. Just having a guy on second, okay, cool, but that's not more interesting. We're trying to make this faster, and I think as a result, less interesting.
Hefty lefty. Baseball needs Chan Ho Park to give Manfred the flying drop kick to the chin.
I'm just saying. Chan Ho Park was not kidding. That dude came in with both feet.
Random texter, I think Rupert Holmes would be a good acquisition for the Suns. No, I'm not going to do it. I've now been forbidden by Radio Ron. I'm not doing it. Random texter. A-Wings 22. I know it'll never happen. But how time could you cut off a baseball game with 2 less commercials in every half inning? I think you're trying to say, how about cutting off some of the commercials to make the game go quicker? I mean, maybe, I guess. It's not really going to make the game go faster.
I mean, they're still going to play the same amount of innings. So
2722 says, when I sent you a text before, I forgot you had a Tom. I was the one complaining about the holding call, same as last year. From now on, I'll be Bengal says. Thanks, love your show. Will you guys be at NASCAR this year? While Bengal says, welcome to the show, Bengal says, as far as being in NASCAR, I don't think I will be. I'm not sure. We're still working on plans. Cabana, Randy, what time do you see my bad White Sox practicing? It won't be a good year for us. Well, we could talk a little spring training around the corner. That's up next on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional grade cleaning products for all your home's needs. So you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine with Syntec full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is designed for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec full synthetic and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $33.99, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Choose Syntec, available exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
We are ready to duel in the desert.
Is there anything better than the sound of 3 races breathing life into a new NASCAR season? What about if it's at a state-of-the-art facility with stunning views of the Estrella Mountains and a famous, only one of its kind hillside? Well, then you must be talking about Phoenix Raceway. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 10th through the 12th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from The Main Event, here to tell you about Access Property Advisors. When I need to buy or sell properties or get them rented out, Access Property Advisors gets me the best sales price or lease terms to make my rental properties profitable. Jason Sellers has an impressive team of professionals at Access Property Advisors, experts in just about anything you can need with real estate. So whether you want to find the home of your dreams, sell your home, or manage your rental property, do what I do and give Access Property Advisors a call at 602-614-5590. That's 602-614-5590, or visit accesspropertyadvisors.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, sit down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to hour number 3 of the Daily Blender on this Monday, February 13th, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rhodes. Jeffrey O'Brien is out. You are on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we continue to get you all the way till 6 o'clock tonight. Many texts. We had Radio Ron on last hour. Let's pick up some of these texts. Hook'em Hottie says, as your token female listener, most of the day I can't hear. I can't wait for it not to bleed through with the Hispanic music. You don't like the mariachi music? I would have thought Huckamati being from Texas, you would appreciate the big guitar and the organ and tuba coming through. Just win, baby, says third hour of Rome, please. I thought we had all 3 hours of Jim Rome.
I thought so too.
I'll get on that. I'll find out what's going on. Boomer Sooner says, Randy, can I get a beer? And hey, Radio Ron, it's Boomer Sooner. Well, he's not in the studio right now. Unwittingly, he's left Keon and myself unsupervised. Beer Nut says, great news, guys. It was so annoying living in East Mesa, close to Apache Junction, and suddenly hearing Spanish music mixing with sports radio. I think that'd be kind of cool if we had like a band playing.
Yeah, just like a mariachi band just behind us. Just
mariachi band. And we could be talking sports. That'd be like a whole new thing.
That'd be another genre of radio.
I mean,
just made it up.
Stations down the dial, they don't know what cutting edge is. They just blah, blah, blah on about facts and figures and sports. We're innovators here at the Flamethrower. Kids the Cook says, praying for better radio coverage in Queen Creek. Hard to listen to 1580 Country Bible Sports Radio while I'm driving. There's another one. We could have like some Southern Baptist preaching going on in the background. The real hellfire and brimstone stuff, and we'd be talking like, I don't know, Suns basketball.
I'm down for that.
Big George says, thanks, Radio Ron. It's been 6 years of broadcasting. It's been a great 6 years of broadcasting. I'll even turn on Money Radio every now and then to listen. That's why Big George, I think, is like the MVP listener. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Between him and like Boomer Sooner, I don't know. We should have like every year we should have like an MVP listener. That's a great promotion right there.
That would be pretty cool. Because and not just those two. I mean, we've got some others that really every day drop by and make the show great. So
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and we could have like a banquet. Have a banquet somewhere. Radio Ron could get his tux out. Shake it out a little bit. He could wear that. He could be there, the MC of the evening. Radio
That's
Ron.
a good point.
Listeners there. Of course, they're going to crowd around Radio Ron because the guy's got charisma. Let's face it.
For days.
Cardinal Art Randy, it's windy as a windmill spinning over here on the west side. Pour me up some rye whiskey. Got to warm up the old radiator. Yeah, it's been kind of cool, man. It's been cold. I got sweatpants on today here in the compound. So yeah, I understand. It is windy. That storm system is kind of blowing through here. CK says, why in God's name would Radio Ron axe all the fun out of the show? Are you talking about the Pina Colada song, CK? You're going to be okay. Silly Wabbit. I'm just trying to clear the text line here. So I'm sorry, Keon. We got a lot to talk about this hour. Keon's going to break down the latest college basketball poll that came out. Purdue no longer number one. Silly Rabbit says, gentlemen, just want to say what a great game that was at State Farm Stadium. It's nice to see two quality teams put together and coached so well. It's too bad. It's going to be quite a while till we see that again. Somehow I feel that was a cut down.
It was. He was saying to the
in some manner, I feel like Silly Wabbit was bashing my Cardinals.
Yeah, just trying to take a. Well, I don't know how subtle it was. I was going to say subtle jab, but a jab. Take a jab at your team there.
Jagdog wants me to give over under on Diamondbacks total wins. He's got 76.5 ? I don't know. The Snakes say they brought Andrew Chafin, so the sheriff is back. Big George hates the move. But Andrew Chafin came up with the Diamondbacks. He had a 2-point-something ERA last year in something like 53 appearances. It was striking guys out. I kind of like the move for the Diamondbacks. They're not going to have to pay a bunch of money.
It's one of their better moves lately.
I like the Andrew Chafin thing. I like it. Tell me what you think about it. 888-368-1580, since we have a little baseball action going on. Mr. Pink Eye, I think the MVP listener would be rigged. I think Randy would be easy to buy out with beer. Negatory, Pink Eye.
Randy can already afford beer.
Mm-hmm.
That is a new level, by the way,
Mm.
of claiming something would be rigged if it did exist.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
We
I
don't
agree.
know what the process or procedure would be.
Yeah,
We have no
yeah.
idea who would decide the MVP listener.
You know, the council hasn't met yet on this. You're exactly right.
And you were talking about a hypothetical thing we just made up.
This is a
being
new
rigged.
thing for the fourth dimension. Wow. Mr. Pink Eye, thank you. Jag Dog, as much as I hate the Pina Colada song, I would listen to it on a 10-hour repeat instead of talking about soccer for 5 seconds. Wow. We now have fourth dimension texter on texter crime.
Here it is. There it is.
Curious ASU fan and Jag Dog. I can see the texts flying now. 888-368-1580. Let's talk Cardinals coaching update for a minute. I heard some rumors out there about the Cardinals. We haven't heard a whole lot, and the Super Bowl came, and the Super Bowl has been played, and now the Super Bowl is gone. So everybody's attention now is going to be back on who the Cardinals going to bring in as head coach. And there was some talk about Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka, Bengals defensive coordinator Lou Amendola, and there's been some other things. But what I heard before the Super Bowl was that the Cardinals would like to talk with their what they call a top candidate, Jonathan Gannon, who's the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, now that Sean Payton is up in Denver and he's pretty much blasted the Cardinals organization, and now that my pick has gone on to be a defensive coordinator, with Minnesota. Now I don't know any of these guys. I don't know if what do you think, Fourth Dimension? What do you think, Keon? If Arizona could land Gannon and get an interview with him, what do you think about this?
I mean, I think Gannon's done an incredible job all year, and I think that depends on how he would work with Monty Ossenfort to build up the defense. But my guess would be to start from the front and go back, start with the defensive line and build backwards, which I would love to see here in Arizona, because that's something that this team has missed for a while, is just a loaded defensive line. Like we've had great players. We've had Chandler Jones over the years. Obviously, J.J. Watt saying goodbye this year on a hell of a season, but we haven't had a defensive line here that's just absolutely loaded with dudes. I think that would be cool to go out and get a coach with that mindset to work with the general manager that's here to build something like that. Because I think that, with Kyler Murray being injured, I think defense has to be the focal point this year to build that up so that you have something on that side of the ball when you get your quarterback back.
Ian Rappaport apparently dropped this. He says, well, no, it's no slam dunk. Gannon gets the job. He is considered to be the top candidate, one worth waiting weeks to speak with. The young dynamic coordinator also was a finalist for the Texans each of the past 2 years before they hired Lovie Smith and DeMeco Ryans. All right, I could see the guy losing out to DeMeco Ryans, but Lovie Smith, if this guy's so dynamic, the hell did he lose out to Lovie Smith for?
I think they knew what their situation was. They already had Lovie Smith in the building, and I think they wanted a bridge coach. Just the way they treated Lovie that year, I think they saw him as a bridge coach and nothing more than that. And so I don't think they wanted to bring in somebody else. I think they wanted to lose a bunch of games, and they did that.
Owen Crisafulli has written, Jonathan Gannon has received a lot of praise for quietly turning the Eagles into one of the best defensive units in the league this season. Philly doesn't really have a weakness on defense. Well, yeah, I think they do. I think they have a weakness.
I don't know.
They just lost the damn game.
They lost the Super Bowl. I think their obvious weakness though is the quarterback on the other team. The way that Mahomes played in the fourth quarter, I had put your best defense out there. I think he's slicing it up.
Considering how the Cardinals haven't named a new head coach yet, there's a decent chance that they are waiting for the Eagles season to conclude before either conducting another interview with Gannon or hiring him outright. Either way, the Cardinals will be making a decision on their next head coach soon, and Gannon could end up being their guy. Some people have said owner Michael Bidwell has told candidates to expect a decision early this week, in perhaps as soon as today.
Well, that's pretty impressive there. I'm going to just put up the little alert there just in case something's out there.
So can I ask a question? What's wrong with Eric Bieniemy? What's wrong with Eric Bieniemy?
I wish I had the answer to that question. I simply don't know. And to the point where I saw a lot of rumors there connecting my Washington Commanders to hiring Eric Bieniemy as an offensive coordinator. I think maybe, and again, we're going to take some of the personal stuff that he's had in his life and put that to the side there, because I just don't think the NFL actually cares. And say, I think with him, he's the offensive coordinator of the Chiefs. And a lot of people want to give him credit for that, but he doesn't have all of the play calling duties. Most of that goes to Andy Reid. And so who gets to do most of the heavy lifting on game day? It's Andy. Who gets all the credit for it? And I think rightfully so. It's Andy Reid. And I think for him, maybe you make a lateral move to a team where the head coach isn't so offensive minded, so that you can get some of that credit for what's been done there. Because I don't see how it's not Bieniemy after the 4-year run that the Chiefs have put together. I don't know what we're missing there, but guys have done a whole lot less in this league and had opportunities.
According to Jeremy Clough of the Arizona Republic, Eric Bieniemy, Arizona Cardinals speculation. Could he be a head coach, coordinator? Is he a candidate to be on the team? I guess there's been some speculation before Super Bowl 57 that he might have a shot at several different jobs. He listed the Indianapolis Colts as perhaps a head coaching position. Well, since that's fallen through. And then the agent told Pro Football Today that Bieniemy had other options for next season, listing the Chiefs, Baltimore Ravens, Washington Commanders, and Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator jobs as possibilities for his client, with the Arizona job depending on who is hired. What's wrong with Eric Bieniemy?
I can't think of any football reasons. I'll tell you that. I don't know how you can look at that and go, okay, this dude's been under Andy Reid this whole time. Andy Reid, better than most coaches, actually has a very impressive coaching tree. Yeah, there's some duds on there, but every coaching tree has a couple. But Andy Reid's coaching tree is pretty solid. And so guys that tend to have coached under him, at least for some stretch of time, even Matt Nagy and the Bears, he did have a couple of years where he looked like he was an actual coach. I just don't know why at the top of every list isn't an Eric Bieniemy, just based on a football standpoint. Do you want to hire the guy that can help you win football games? I think he can.
A Chiefs Insider, an official Twitter account. I don't know who the guy is. Chiefs Insider. Quote, if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I do not let Eric Bieniemy leave town without interviewing him for their head coaching vacancy. End quote. I feel the same way.
Yes, it seems like a logical move. And now that a lot of these positions are filled up, like, you don't have any competition, really. I mean, he's interested in some of these OC jobs, but if he gets offered a head coach job, he'll take it.
All right. We got to go to a break here shortly, but let's go back to the text line at 888-368-1580. Okay, I'll read that one later. Silly Wabbit. Well, whatever the Cardinals choose as far as a coach, you could be assured they're going to tell us that they got the guy they wanted. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, what's wrong with that? Doesn't every team do that, Silly Wabbit?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just, even if you didn't get your first option, you might have still gotten the guy you wanted.
Megatron says 0 chance the Cardinals hire an offensive head coach. 0 chance.
Why 0? I don't know about that. I mean, they're clearly leaning defense with some of the people that they've interviewed. But I see no reason why you can't go offensive coach here.
Last Optimist says the enemy spotted the fake sweeps vulnerability of the Eagles D when watching Jack's tape on the Eagles and added that play to the game plan.
I mean, yeah, he's a sharp dude. Very perceptive, you know. Just seems like a good coaching candidate. I don't know.
The guy's been around. He's been sitting under Andy Reid's program for how long? How much of that does he have memorized? How could he help Kyler Murray? I mean, he's not going to alienate Kyler Murray. He just worked with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has. Kyler Murray has great respect for Patrick Mahomes. You know, I mean, it seems like it would be just a perfect fit.
And he can handle a little bit of chirping, you know, like there was some times this season where him and Patrick Mahomes were on the sideline going back and forth. And in the end, they were able to work through it because Eric can do that because he has that level of respect in the locker room. I just don't see why you wouldn't do this. I can't think of any particularly good reason.
Let's see. Megatron says Bidwell's track record. He switches back and forth. So you think he's a flip-flopper?
So you think he goes defense, then he goes offense, then he goes defense, and then offense again.
I want to know why there's no chance, 0 chance. I wish you would tell me, Megatron. I don't know why there's a 0 chance the Cards won't hire an offensive coordinator.
Well, he's saying
or an offensive coach
because he switches back and forth between OC offensive coaches and defensive coaches.
Oh, you're saying so every other coach, it's either defense or okay.
Right. So Cliff was offense, so we're going back to defense. I think that's the reasoning there.
CK says, because it's a lie, Randy. They obviously didn't get their guy. That's why the Cardinals will always be the Cardinals.
Just because you didn't get your first option doesn't mean you didn't get a guy you liked or someone you thought highly of. So it wouldn't be a lie. Now, if they went out there and say they hired, Gannon, and they went out there and said we got our first option, that would be a lie. That would simply not be true. But if you went out and got a guy that you put together, because whenever you go on a coaching search, you don't just go out with one guy in mind. You usually have a list of people you like, and then you interview them. So if you get one of the people you interviewed that you really like, that's your guy.
All right. We've got some more text on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've got to take a break. When we come back, Keon Rose breaks down the latest college basketball poll. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. The best way to start betting smarter is to sign up for a free VSiN subscription at vsin.com/subscribe. That's vsin.com/subscribe.
There are a number of side bets, of course, for Super Bowl 57 in Arizona coming up on Sunday, like the color of Patrick Mahomes' headband. Will it be white? Well, that's -400, red +200, or black +700. Will anybody break Tom Brady's Super Bowl passing yards? If you think yes, you can get that at +900. Will anybody break Timmy Smith's Super Bowl rushing record? If you think yes, you can get that at +1,000. How about former 49ers great Jerry Rice's Super Bowl receiving record? Will that be broken? If you think yes, +900. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-216-9922. That's 1-800-216-9922. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-216-9922. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
It's time to think about your tax refund. And Jackson Hewitt wants you to think biggest, as in, we guarantee you'll get your biggest refund or your money back plus $100. Who offers that? Come to think of it, nobody. It's one of the biggest guarantees out there and why you can't just file with anybody. For your guaranteed biggest refund, go to Jackson Hewitt today. Your wallet will thank you. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes.
Homeowners age 62 and older, now is time to act. This is Rob Canyon, retirement mortgage specialist and host of the Retire Right with Reverse Rob show on 1510 KFNN. Yes, listing prices are down, but home values still remain at very high levels. Don't wait to learn more about the new and improved home equity conversion mortgage. This is a safe and proven coordinated strategy in retirement, which will improve your monthly cash flow, lower your tax liabilities, and make your retirement portfolio last longer. Call me today, Reverse Rob, at 602-REVERSE, or on the web at www.reverserob.com.
GCU men's basketball is back on the Fanatic. Listen along with Lopes insider Paul Coro and the voice of the Lopes, Michael Potter, for every moment of exciting Lopes action.
Wednesday night, GCU's in town to take on UT Rio Grande Valley. Tip time is 7 p.m. live from the GCU Arena.
Listen all season long as the Lopes make their way through the WAC and try to punch their ticket into the madness of March. It's GCU Lopes basketball, only on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
I'm just watching a video here on the internet of Paul McCartney. He was on the Jumbotron at the State Farm Stadium over the weekend. He was at the Super Bowl. He acted like such a kid. He was like, "Woo, woohoo! Look at me, Mom!" 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. It's the Daily Blender on a Monday, February 13th. Remember, you got a few hours left. Card, maybe some chocolates. Jewelry works well. I'm just saying, we are at the midway point of the NBA season, and it's now the perfect time to download FanDuel, which is America's #1 sports book, because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Safe, secure, super easy to use, and you can bet on everything from the money line to point spreads to threes drained. I mean, you could, the Suns are in action tomorrow night. You could pick up the Suns game and say, okay, maybe Booker's back and CP3, maybe he's over on assists. Maybe, DeAndre Ayton gets a double-double, and Booker, he's over 25 points. You build your own same-game parlay. There you go. And you could take a little investment. Like you heard Radio Ron here last hour. Take $1 or a couple of dollars. You don't have to bet like hundreds of dollars. Take a couple of bucks, and you get a bigger return on your investment. Plus, FanDuel also gives you a chance at a no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Again, go to FanDuel.com/Randy1580. That's FanDuel.com/Randy1580 to learn all the deets, as the kids like to say. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 or older, present in Arizona. Online first online real money wager only. $10 required for a deposit. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Quickly, let's go to the text line. Megatron says, look at everyone they have interviewed. All have been defensive except Peyton. They have drafted 2 first linebackers in 3 years. This year's pick should be a defensive end. They're going defense. Yeah, but see, you can't say that anymore, Megatron. They have a different guy in charge now.
Yeah, to talk about what Keim drafted as a reference to what they will do in the future, unless you think Michael Bidwell was in there making those draft picks himself, which I don't think he was. Maybe he had a hand in it, but I don't think that he actually sat down and made the call. Those are Keim's draft picks. So that doesn't tell me anything about where we're going defensively.
Mr. Pink Guy says Cardinals need to make a splash higher. They should give the job to Deion Sanders. He would bring attention to the Cardinals. He would also attract top free agent. Well, Deion's already got a job. Prime already has a job in Colorado. I'm just saying. Plus, if he came to Phoenix, he and Dale Hellestrade be hanging out. They're former teammates.
Good point.
He and Dale would be out on the town party. It wouldn't be a good scene. Dale just got clean.
Oh, no.
Big George says, I love these outdated VSiN updates talking about the upcoming Super Bowl in Arizona. Did it say that? Did you hear that?
I might have missed that.
CK, alive! What? Mr. Pringle, it's apparent that no one in the coaching world wants to work with Kyler. I don't think that's true either. I know that's the narrative that has been tossed about. I know Terry Bradshaw was running his mouth about what he heard, Sean Payton say, but no.
Yeah, and that's all we have, by the way. We have one Terry Bradshaw and his thoughts on what he thought Sean Payton said, which Sean Payton denied. So, obviously he's going to deny it because he's supposed to, but he denied it. So that's all we've got. We've got one denied statement.
Good to talk to you again. Number one Rattlers fan. He says 29 days until,
which I bet you're excited about.
Yeah. Cabana Phoenix. Thank you. Cabana Phoenix. Oh boy, look at that car. He's, oh, look at that. Wow. That's the Roadrunner. What is that? Is that a Tesla? What am I looking at here? Cabana Phoenix. He says wearing 1580 gear at all events lately. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you, Cabana Phoenix. Wow, look at that. Keon, I wish you could see that because this is a car I could see you in.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's sporty, but it's got like a hatchback, but it's cool. It's sporty. I don't know what it is. It looks expensive though.
Those are the ones I like, the ones I can't afford.
Silver.
Or even dream of affording.
Just looks fast. Wow. Whistling Gerbil has the question that we're all waiting to answer. Who gets signed first, Jimmy G or Derek Carr? Well,
it's impossible to say. I think Derek Carr is the better quarterback, so I would say Derek.
Can anything happen now that the Super Bowl has been played and that game is over? Isn't today officially the NFL season is over and the offices are closed and there can't be any transactions until like March 1st or something like that, March 3rd, until the next season actually begins? Isn't there like a month?
Yeah, it's March 15th at 4 p.m. is the start of the new league calendar. So
4 p.m. Eastern or?
Yeah, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. So I don't think anything is going to happen between now and then. We know that Aaron Rodgers is going to go into some facility in a darkened room.
Well, he
some of us
started
call
yesterday.
that. Some of us called that isolated, isolated confinement.
He should be on day 2 now.
CK says I can see Keon on a VW Rabbit. Oh, stop it!
What the hell's a VW Rabbit? I got to Google it here to understand if I'm being insulted or not.
Oh, you're being insulted.
Oh,
888-368-1580. The new top 25 AP poll came out, and there's been some movement.
I take offense, sir. My Google search just came back. I take offense.
I told you.
I take offense.
See what you've done, CK. Anyway, AP Top 25. Alabama is your new number one team in the country for the NCAA men's basketball, followed by Houston, and then Purdue, who was the reigning number one champion until they lost this weekend. We'll talk about that in a second. UCLA is the 4 team. Kansas 5, Texas 6, Virginia 7, Arizona is 8, Baylor 9, Tennessee 10. Now, I'm not going to go on with the rest. You can look it up, the top 25, AP top 25 NCAA men's basketball poll. FAU is now 25 in the country, in case you were wondering. Florida Atlantic University. That was a team that was winning. They were on that winning streak and whoops, lost a game. Anyway, so Keon, you're our NCAA basketball champion here. You're our guy that watches a lot. What do you think about this? Alabama 1, Houston 2, Purdue 3, UCLA 4, 5 Kansas, 6 Texas, 7 Virginia, 8 Arizona, 9 Baylor, and 10 Tennessee.
Yeah, I pretty much. Yeah, I pretty much agree with this. It's
really,
yeah. I'm a little surprised at maybe Houston being above Purdue. Purdue lost to Northwestern, and I understand that is a pretty perplexing loss for them. But they've been so good and they've been so consistent, and 2 of their best scorers just had a bad shooting night. You know, I think it was Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer. Can't boy. Me and words right now, but they were like 2 of 13 from the field in that game. Like, they're not going to shoot that badly very often. So I don't know if I would have put Houston above Purdue. But I think Alabama deserves to be number 1. Nate Oates and what he's done with that offense, just been tremendous. You know, I mean, he really came in and said, look, we're going to shoot threes or we're going to the basket. No mid-range, and they don't shoot mid-range jumpers at all. And I do like it when a coach in college basketball kind of has a philosophy and really sticks with it, because his players just know this is our style. This is what we're doing. And I just think Alabama's right now playing the most consistent basketball in the country.
So why is Alabama 1 instead of Houston? Houston's 23-2. Alabama's 22-3.
The reason why with Houston is just a couple of the losses that they've had have just been absolutely head scratchers. And I think that there's a lack of trust there with how Houston plays. I don't think that's necessarily fair to that degree, but I do think with Alabama, you know, they're playing in an SEC that's a little bit tougher than what people are giving it credit for. You know, with all due respect to the AAC where Houston is playing in the SEC, you do have Tennessee, you do have obviously Kentucky. I know that Kentucky's not playing, you know, the kind of basketball we're used to them playing, but still you do have, you know, a lot of these blue bloods playing in the SEC right now, a conference we normally think of as a football conference, but they're playing good basketball. And I think that as a conference, that's caused Alabama to play a tougher schedule. And I like the fact that they're number 1.
So this weekend on Saturday, we have a couple of games. Seton Hall will be taking on UConn. UConn is on this list at 20. I don't see Seton Hall on here, but I mean, does UConn, is this good for them moving up, taking on a team like Seton Hall?
Yeah, I know that this isn't, I think it's kind of a down year for Seton Hall, but Seton Hall is one of those teams you go to fill out your bracket every year. If you do every year, you'll notice that Seton Hall's there a lot. So that's still a quality basketball program. And I think a good quality test for UConn, who has been moving up. And they do need a good win, because even though they moved up to 20, they lost to Creighton, who's been struggling a little bit this year too. So I think that UConn's got a lot to prove. And so Seton Hall is a good place to start.
So Creighton is actually listed. It's 18. Well,
yeah, by Creighton standards, it's 17-8. That fan base is not exactly thrilled about it.
All right, so I mean, just quickly touch on the Baylor Kansas game coming up this Saturday here on 1580 The Fanatic as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas has been absolutely rolling lately. You know, I don't want to say they stumbled out of the gates, but again, for the standards of a Kansas, the way they started the year, there were a lot of people who were questioning, you know, the strength of this team, the toughness of this team, and they've hit their stride lately. There's no question about it. And you know, they absolutely played Texas and manhandled them a week ago. And I thought Texas was the more athletic team, and they just got outworked by the Jayhawks. And obviously, Baylor has been playing tremendous basketball. They are every year, I think, one of the 5 most athletic teams in college basketball. And they work the transfer portal better than anybody, and the results show for themselves.
The reason Purdue they lost 2 in a row, right? They fell against Indiana, and then they lost again, like you said, to Northwestern. Meanwhile, down in Tucson, Arizona, which was number 4 at the time, they were stunned Saturday night. Fell by 9 points to Stanford, which has been a struggle for Stanford all season long. They're not the basketball powerhouse they have been in the past, but they dropped 4 points just because they lost to Stanford. Is that fair?
I think it is because of the track record that they've put together this season, where overwhelmingly over the course of this season, they have been absolutely fantastic. But then every now and then you get to one of these games and they don't lose a game against a ranked opponent. They're not losing games against the quality teams. They beat those guys, but then they'll just drop one against, some team that you're like, really them? The hiccup against Utah earlier in the year, that didn't make any sense. The Washington State loss is just, again, head scratching. And then the Oregon loss was also bad. So now you're starting to add the Stanford one. You got 4 losses that honestly don't make any sense on this team's resume because of how good they can be.
Bruno Baller says, speaking about Houston, Bruno Baller on the text line, 888-368-1580. Speaking about Houston, we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of that major upset with NC State beating Houston in 1983. That's right. Survive and advance. Mm-hmm. So, I remember that. Mr. Pringle, sorry, NFL, because the Super Bowl is in Arizona, the results of the game will not be known for 2 weeks. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, that was funny. Cabana gives me some insight on that car. I said that you would look good in. It's an Aston Martin. Aston Martin. You know who James Bond is? Yeah, James Bond's car. But this is more of a hatchback. I don't think James Bond would drive a hatchback, but it's pretty damn cool. CK says that was the goal.
What was the goal exactly? We may have just lost it. Just that text was a while ago. Maybe don't remember.
Let's see here. For some reason, everything is resetting on my text line. Okay. Number one Rattlers fan starts by saying, I think we should get for the next head coach of the Cardinals, a young hotshot college coach with a sub 500 record who's really handsome and knows how to be smooth. And then he says, oh, wait, never mind.
Might help if he's friends with Sean McVay. Might even help.
The Wiz wants to know quickly before we go to break here, was the KD deal, number 1, totally worth it? Number 2, really expensive, but worth it to get us over the hump? Or number 3, not worth the price? I'll tell you what, Wiz, we'll put a pin in it right there. That's what we'll talk about next. And we have on this date in Big Georgia sports history and much more. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, y'all, this is your girl, Cheryl Underwood, and I want to tell you something. My digestive system used to make me feel sluggish, but those days are over. Now I feel great. That's because I increased my fiber intake with the Metamucil 2-week challenge, and I'm still hooked. I just took Metamucil every day for 14 days, and it's really that easy. Metamucil traps and removes the waste that weighs you down, so you feel lighter and more energetic. Now I never want to go back to that heavy feeling. Are you ready for the Metamucil 2-week challenge? For a coupon and daily support, sign up at Metamucil.com today.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
At the Home Depot, we know the world is a messy place. Keeping it clean takes science. That's why businesses everywhere have long trusted cleaning products from Ecolab to take on the toughest messes. And now that level of clean is available for your home. Introducing Ecolab Scientific Clean, a full line of professional grade cleaning products for all your home's needs. So you can clean like you mean business. Now available exclusively at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
If you are an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits, the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Weekends now through April 2nd. Great shopping, a giant crafts market. New shows featuring sea fairies, mermaids, and merriments. Non-stop feasting and more. The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through April 2nd.
Discount tickets available at Bashers and Food City or Arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Well, it's a special day for the Fanatic. We are celebrating our 6th birthday today. You heard Radio Ron last hour celebrating with us here on the Daily Blender. 6 years. Wow. I think I was here when the Fanatic was born. When I was here, I was working on the Money Radio side. I was producing a show on the. Well, I wasn't really producing. I was a board op on the Money Radio side for a show from noon until 2 or something weekdays. You know, and then the Fanatic started, and Jeffrey graciously allowed me to be a part of the Daily Blender. So here I am, 6 years later. Of course, I wasn't on the Blender for 6 years. You know, Jeffrey's been doing this thing for like 25 something years.
Yeah, I have talked to him a little bit about it because it apparently, you know, the Blender's just sort of evolved and reincarnated over the years.
Yeah, he's been doing this a long time. It was in Palm Springs for a while, and it was very popular over there. So in case you're wondering, Jeffrey out today, and you may have heard Radio Ron last hour and know where he is now. Okay. So can I ask a question? You watched the Super Bowl yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How do you boo the Walter Payton Man of the Year?
Step one, be an Eagles fan.
Well, I get that.
Step
but
two, end of steps.
Isn't the Walter Payton Award for the man who was recognized for being a good person on and off the field?
Actually, it's just off the field. It's got nothing you do on the field on it. Dak Prescott was being honored for what he did off the field, i.e. being a good human being, which he is. He's a truly good person. But
jeez,
Eagles fans don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. There was a lot of green yesterday, a lot of green at State Farm Stadium. The Eagles were in force. Eagle fans were in force here. And the Eagles obviously hate the Cowboys. So Dak Prescott winning the award, which is a do-good award.
I hate the Cowboys too.
But would you stand up and boo a guy that just got presented the Walter Payton? How do you boo? Would they boo Walter Payton?
They might. They booed Santa. There's nothing is below Eagles fans. I watch, multiple Eagles broadcasts a year, and I'm just telling you, this is the standard routine for that fan base.
Same crowd that threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. Booed Donovan McNabb.
I don't get it.
The day they drafted him, he didn't even get to prove that he was bad.
Then I find this one exceedingly funny. Then on the Jumbotron came a likeness that we're all familiar with. So LeBron in town with his teeny tiny wife, teeny tiny
Savannah James.
So there's LeBron all of a sudden on the big Jumbotron, and boo! Here they come again.
I thought the way LeBron handled it was pretty funny. He put a crown on his head.
Yeah, a pretend crown.
Pretend crown. Yeah.
Boo! Get out of here!
If they're gonna boo you, you might as well get your money's worth out of it. But that is, again, the Philly fans. They don't. That's their language. Booing is their one language.
Oh,
it's what they're like.
That was better than any Super Bowl commercial. LeBron.
And anybody that was from the Valley there joined the Eagles fans. That's
you're damn right.
You had to there.
I think the staff that was working the Super Bowl were booing.
Like LeBron had to know.
Yeah.
It was coming.
Speaking of the Eagles, we could talk more about this. The Eagles, they've been very, what am I trying to say? Successful. I think I'm having a stroke. They're being very successful this year. And one of the reasons their offensive and defensive coordinators are quality guys, got this team heading in the right direction. And the offensive coordinator, Steichen, I can't tell you his first name because I don't remember it. And
Shane
Steichen has been linked to the Indianapolis Colts. As a matter of fact, it was so I can't get the thing to load for some reason. Anyway, it was so imminent that they were saying as soon as the game is over, he's flying out, going to Indianapolis to meet with Jim Irsay, and they anticipate that he is going to sign a contract to be the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, number one, I bet a lot of people in Indy are going, whew, because there had been some speculation that Jeff Saturday would be the next head coach of the Colts. Second of all, Jeff Saturday now has to sell whatever home he had in Indy so he can move back to Connecticut and rejoin ESPN.
I hope he didn't buy anything expensive while he was over there. I mean, he is a person that has a lot of self-belief, and I'm sure he believed that he would coach his way into being the head coach of the Colts. But just reasonably, I hope he didn't buy anything too expensive.
Well, so they're putting that to bed. I've been checking online. Have you been checking online, and do you see any updates to that? Shane Steichen, the next head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. I haven't seen any breaking news things come across on my phone.
I don't think I've seen anything new. I know I did see Schefter saying that it seems like that's where we're going. But I haven't seen anything other than some reports that the Colts plan to make the hire.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see how many mushrooms Jim Irsay's got to consume before he pays Steichen the amount. So we'll find that out, I'm sure, in the hours leading up to the beginning of the NFL season here. We've got some time, but you want to get this guy in the fold and get him going, get all of his stuff set up. So just saying, I'm sure they're going to hire him any moment. As far as the Cardinals go, hell, who knows? Fourth dimension. I mean, somebody from the fourth dimension could be hired as the next head coach of the Cardinals. Big Kev. Hey, Big Kev, haven't talked to you in a minute. How you doing? Good evening, Randy. Now that the Super Bowl is over, it's officially NASCAR time. Duels on Thursday, 500 on Sunday. Any word if the race setup will have a show or segment this year? To be determined, Big Kev. To be determined. I'll have to wait and see. Show? Probably not. Mr. Pringle says, great American dream, Dusty Rhodes may fear this man. Listen, the American dream, Dusty Rhodes, feared no man. I've been in the wrestling ring with all of the greats, including this one, this Randy Savage. Listen, I could get him. 888-368-1580. My favorite Eagle is Joe Walsh. My favorite song of his, I can't say that. Well, I mean, I probably could, but I like Life's Been Good. Not I like big knockers. I'll just change it. Because who doesn't? Is there any male that doesn't like big knockers?
You'll be hard pressed to find any. I'm sure there's somebody because there's lots of people out there, but.
All right. So now that Super Bowl 57 is over, and before we get to Big George's on this day in Big George's sports history, Super Bowl, you might be wondering, where the hell is the Super Bowl next year? I was in a drunken stupor for a week. I don't even know. Well, next year it's February 10th, and it'll be at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Oh my God. Depending on who gets there, they're going to tear that city down. The casino, all the casinos will be on fire.
Sin City for a reason. And it's Vegas. So like you show up to go watch your team play in the Super Bowl. And if they win, you're throwing a party. If they lose, you're throwing a party. Yeah, depending on who's there, there will be fans that will have gone missing. We'll never find them. And then a Super Bowl LIX. I refuse to use the Roman numerals. I refuse to learn Roman numerals, and I refuse to use them. But it's 59. That'll be February 9th at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. Dear God, there's another one. That city, they will actually ruin that city. I'm surprised they didn't ruin Scottsdale for this one.
Did you see some of the sites on the networks when they were doing their live hits? It was crazy. All right, but I better do this quickly. We've got what, a minute?
Yeah, a couple minutes.
All right, couple minutes. It's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1976, Dorothy Hamill of Riverside, Connecticut, won the women's figure skating gold medal at the Innsbruck Winter Olympics in Austria, wowing judges with her signature spin dubbed the Hamill Camel, which is a camel spin that turns into a sit spin. She also created a new American hairstyle almost overnight with her bobbed hairstyle. The Hamill Camel, which is a camel spin that turns into a sit spin. Smile when you say that. Thank you.
I don't know my figure skating moves enough.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea what a camel spin is.
Hamill Camel. That it just transitions right into a sit spin. Boy. All right. 888-368-1580. I got about a minute or so left on the old radio program. Mattress Mac had a bad January. Now the Super Bowl is over. I'd like to know, I'd like to know what he put down, but in January, listen to this poor guy. Let me see here. So as the 49ers were involved, the Cowboys were involved. Mattress Max was also involved. I don't think I have the right. Pooh. Mattress Max lost millions. He lost millions. I don't know how much he put down on the Cowboys playoff game, but he lost that. Let's see here. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh, there's the music. I'm sorry. We'll have to talk about it again tomorrow.
All I know is when I see Mattress Mac place a bet, I really have to strongly consider going the other way. I really got to think about it. That dude is wrong so much.
Yeah, he had a bad January.
He's had a bad half decade.
He lost money on the TCU national championship game in January. He lost $2 million on the Cowboys loss at the 49ers. Yeah, he had a bad January. He's gonna have to sell a whole bunch of them mattresses to make up for that.
He might be a brilliant businessman. He is a bad bettor.
All right, everybody. This has been the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, now 6 years old and still going strong on the big flamethrower. My name is Randy White, right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. Until tomorrow at 3 p.m., we thank